Chapter 36:59. Lin Xian stared at Di Ling, ready to eliminate him. Everyone was excited. They did not expect that Lin Xian and Di Ling would be the first to break out into a conflict. The two of them would fight. If they fought, then one of them would be eliminated. It was unbelievable. Even Wang Xiaofeng and the people from Stillwater Sky City were stunned. To be honest, if there was no special hatred between the 8 geniuses, they would avoid such an elimination round and strive to enter the next round. Then they would compete for the rankings. But now Di Ling and Lin Xian were going to fight. I'm not afraid of you. I've wanted to eliminate you for a long time. Di Ling also stood up. He was very unhappy that Lin Xian got first place in the first round. Now, Lin Xian dared to provoke him. This made him feel that Lin Xian was dead meat. Kid, you think you can be arrogant in front of me just because you defeated Yu Qinya? You're too naive. Yu Qinya, that trash, did not understand much of the essence. I'll tell you, I'm the most heaven-defying one. The divine steel superpower that I comprehended is definitely not something you can imagine. Don't be so full of yourself. Otherwise, when you're eliminated later, you'll only be slapped in the face. Lin Xian sneered. The others retreated, leaving only the two of them in the guts. At this moment, more than 10,000 people were completely excited. They were about to witness an earth-shattering battle. What kind of superpower did the two of them comprehend? Did Lin Wudi know how to use such a low-level superpower? No, Lin Wudi, other than the sword of 100 battles, also comprehended the divine steel superpower. However, the time he spent on it was very short. It was only slightly more than a month. Moreover, the divine steel superpower that he comprehended was the same as Di Ling's. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. Everyone was shocked. These two people had actually comprehended the same kind of divine ability. This was too unbelievable. However, the time difference between the two of them was twice as long. Was Lin Xian a match for Di Ling? Buzz. Di Ling stood there. A terrifying aura of heaven and earth appeared from his body. His eyes were like lightning, and the aura of the entire space froze. He formed a seal with his palms, and a law flew out from his fingertips. Then he shouted, "Boom! Boom!" A large crack appeared in the sky, and then an illusory figure walked out of it. It was a headless warrior. He wore tattered armor and held a broken sword in his hand. His aura was unparalleled. Heavens, what is this thing? What kind of divine ability was this? Everyone went crazy. They didn't expect this. This was called the Spirit Summoning Incantation. It could be used to summon powerful heroic spirits from the void of the universe. Di Ling's cold voice was heard. The more profound one's cultivation was, the stronger the summoned spirit would be. Kid, let's see how you're going to compete with me. After he finished speaking, he shouted angrily. Another figure walked out. This was also a heroic spirit. He held a long saber in his hand, and his aura was unparalleled. The two heroic spirits circled around in the sky, carrying mountains of corpses and seas of blood. These two must have been incredible saints when they were alive. Even if he had been dead for so long, his heroic spirit could still be summoned. Brat, let's see how you can be compared to me. Di Ling's lips curled into a cold smile. He was very confident in himself. The people from Wushuang City frowned. They had to admit that Di Ling was very powerful. He could summon 2 heroic spirits in 3 months. How was Lin Wudi going to compete with him? Should he use the same spirit summoning incantation as Di Ling, or the sword of 100 battles? Or should he use the psychic hand? Could he summon 2 heroic spirits? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Interesting. Looks like you're stronger than that trash, Yu Qinya. All right, I'll play with you. As he spoke, Lin Xian's fingers began to form a series of hand seals. In the next moment, his expression became serious. His eyes were like divine swords, rarely looking in all directions. He also knew the spirit summoning incantation. Crack! 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 A large vortex appeared in the sky. Then, an illusory figure appeared. It was a war horse. Everyone was shocked. The first thing to walk out of the vortex was a war horse. It was tall and big, and it was obviously a powerful beast. There was a person sitting on the war horse. It was a knight, a headless knight. He held a long spear in his hand, and his murderous aura was unparalleled. Seeing this, everyone was shocked. After waiting for a long time, they were shocked to find that there was only a headless knight riding a war horse. Other than that, there was no one else. Could it be that Lin Wudy could only summon one? If that was the case, how could Lin Wudy be Di Ling's opponent? Ha ha ha! Di Ling laughed arrogantly. You've really disappointed me. I didn't expect you to only summon one. You dare to be arrogant in front of me with your strength? I advise you to kneel down obediently, kowtow, and admit your mistake. Di Ling's eyes were filled with disdain. 2 against 1. There was no way he would lose. Lin Xian shook his head and sighed. You're really arrogant. Do you really think you're going to win? Some things can't be decided by numbers. Is that so? You've only comprehended for 1.5 months. Can you compare with me who has comprehended for 3 months? Today is the day you die. Di Ling sneered. The 2 heroic spirits he summoned quickly charged over. On the other side, the headless knight was riding a war horse. He also charged quickly, the long spear in his hand piercing out. The void kept shattering, and the world kept rumbling. Everyone retreated. At the same time, they widened their eyes, not wanting to miss any details. Boom! 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 The 2 heroic spirits charged out, causing the war horse to neigh nonstop. However, the headless knight's figure was very tall and straight. The long spear in his hand was like lightning. With one strike, the world shattered. Everyone was stunned. They couldn't believe it at all. The 4 warriors from Wushuang City were even more shocked. How was this possible? Their faces were full of shock. Di Ling was even more shocked. Impossible! He screamed. He found that the 2 heroic spirits he summoned were pierced through by the other party's spear and nailed to the void. Boom! The long spear vibrated and directly tore the 2 heroic spirits apart. In the end, the 2 heroic spirits turned into spiritual energy and dissipated in the sky. Are the 2 heroic spirits very powerful? Do you really think that this matter can be won with numbers? I've said it before. You're no match for me. Lin Xian's cold voice sounded. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Was Lin Wudy already so powerful? He only used 1.5 months to comprehend, and the heroic spirits he summoned were more powerful than Di Ling, who had comprehended in 3 months. It was really too incredible. Di Ling's face was filled with madness. His face was contorted. Impossible. I don't believe it. How can your talent be stronger than mine? He had completely collapsed. What the hell was going on? Chapter 3660. Those were the 2 hero spirits that he had summoned. They were so powerful, but they were destroyed by the other party in one blow. It was unbelievable. Was the other party really more talented than him? 1 hero spirit could defeat 2 on his side. I don't believe it. Die! Di Ling formed a seal again, wanting to summon his hero spirits. At the same time, he quickly charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered. With a wave of his hand, the headless horseman waved his spear and slashed at Di Ling. This attack seemed to be able to split everything apart. Di Ling was shocked and quickly retreated. As soon as he left, a spatial crack appeared where he was originally standing. It was a shocking sight. One had to admit that the headless horseman was too powerful. In the Copper Sparrow Pavilion, with his cultivation suppressed, the headless horseman could kill anything in his way. Sure enough, after that the Imperial Mausoleum was hunted down. He didn't have time to form a seal because the headless horseman was too fast and too powerful. If he delayed for a moment, his body would probably be pierced through. Damn it! Di Ling roared as he ran. He had never been chased by anyone before. The surrounding people were completely stunned. Heavens, was this still Di Ling? Was this still the high and mighty leader of the 8 great prodigies? At this moment, the other party was in an extremely sorry state. He was like a stray dog that had been chased to the point of no return. Buzz! Finally, the headless horseman exploded. The warhorse under his feet roared and turned into a stream of light. The spear in his hand directly enveloped Di Ling. Damn it, block it! Di Ling roared, but the spear still pierced through his body. Drip, drip. Fresh blood flowed down the spear and fell into the void. It was like a sudden clap of thunder that made people's hearts beat wildly. Di Ling was injured. He had been dodging so desperately, but he was still injured. It couldn't be helped. The headless horseman was too powerful. If they were outside, his cultivation wouldn't be suppressed and he could use his mystique. Di Ling wouldn't be injured. But here, under these rules, Di Ling couldn't resist. He felt his entire body go numb. This spear had made him lose the ability to fight. His eyes were burning as he screamed at the sky. Damn it! Lin Xian walked over and looked down at the other party. What? You're not convinced? We had a fair fight. What are you unhappy about? Indeed, everyone was silent. If Lin Xian had used a saint artifact or some other trump card to win, then they might not have been convinced. But now, this was an absolutely fair environment. If he lost, then he lost. There was no excuse. Go to hell. Di Ling suddenly became furious. He waved his hand and a ray of light flew out. It was a chain of law. However, it was easily dodged by Lin Xian. What? You still want to plot against me? He didn't know what was good for him. With a cold snort, the headless horseman's spear trembled and directly shattered Di Ling's body into pieces. Everyone swallowed their saliva. This was already a serious injury, right? Ah! Di Ling screamed. If it weren't for the fact that I can't kill you, you would have died 1,000 times over by now. How dare you sneak attack me? Lin Xian stepped on Di Ling's head. The headless horseman's warhorse stepped on the dismembered body. Di Ling was so angry that he vomited blood. When had he ever been treated like this? This was humiliation. He was not convinced, but he really couldn't resist now. Damn brat, if we fought outside, you wouldn't be my opponent at all. Put away your pride. You're more than 1,000 years older than me. Of course, you have the advantage outside. Moreover, you can borrow other powers. For example, the mysterious coffin in your body that doesn't belong to you. These don't represent your own power. Do you understand? Also, do you really think that you can beat me outside? You have a trump card, do you think I don't? So don't be arrogant outside. Otherwise, you'll end up in a miserable state. As Lin Xian spoke, he stomped down hard on Di Ling's head, causing it to creak. Di Ling was so angry that he couldn't speak. He could only vomit blood to express his anger. The people from Wushuang City walked out and said loudly, Lin Wudi won this battle. Di Ling lost and was eliminated. He was now a registered disciple. With a wave of his hand, the array teleported Di Ling's body out. Looking at the blood on the ground, everyone's scalp went numb. Di Mausoleum was defeated and eliminated. This was earth-shattering news, because they never thought that Di Ling would be defeated. One had to know that Di Ling was the favorite to win the championship. But now, this favorite to win the championship was eliminated in the second round. Outside the Copper Sparrow Terrace, Yu Qinya was alone there, waiting anxiously. He guessed that Di Ling would make a move at this time. Di Ling couldn't tolerate such a powerful person. Indeed, he felt a fluctuation in the void. Someone was being teleported out. It seemed that someone was eliminated again. It must be that brat. Yu Qinya revealed a sinister smile. He secretly used his power, preparing to show his strength to his opponent. It would be best if he could injure him. In the next moment, a light flashed. His raised hand froze in midair. The sinister smile on his face also froze. It was Di Ling. How could it be? His heart was about to explode. Damn it, Diling was out. Was he eliminated like him? At this moment, Yu Qinya's mind went blank. In his opinion, Diling was the strongest. No one could beat him. But now, Diling was eliminated by someone else. Who was it? Could it be that brat who did it? He couldn't believe it. As soon as Diling came out, he roared at the sky. The late-stage level 4 energy in his body instantly exploded. With a loud bang, Yu Qinya was directly sent flying, vomiting blood. Ah, damn Lin Wuti. I will tear you to pieces. I won't rest until you die. Diling screamed crazily. The 9 heavens were cracking and the earth was trembling. At this moment, he was really angry. He couldn't wait to go back to the Copper Sparrow Terrace and tear his opponent to pieces. Yu Qinya stood up from afar, wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth. His face was full of horror. Lin Wuti. It was really Lin Wuti who did it. Damn it. What trick did this guy use to eliminate Diling as well? How did you lose? He leaned forward and asked. Diling turned his head, his eyes emitting a cold light, almost sending Yu Qinya flying again. I didn't lose. It was that brat who was despicable. If we were outside, I could kill him with one hand. Diling's murderous aura was too cold. What bullsh*** fair fight. His strength was his strength. Where did the suppression of the laws come from? At this moment, he was extremely dissatisfied with Peerless City. In the Copper Sparrow Terrace, the people were still in a state of shock. Lin Xian had eliminated 2 of the 8 great prodigies in a row. This scene sent chills down everyone's spines. One could imagine what kind of storm it would cause if this news spread out. Chapter 3661. Diling was finally eliminated. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. Who would be next? He looked around, and the people around him trembled in fear. Suddenly, Lin Xian's gaze stopped and stared at Ghostly. His lips curled up again. Ghostly took 2 steps back and laughed dryly. Lin Gongzi had fought twice. He must be tired, right? Why not take a break and let the others fight? Is that so? I'm not tired. The first time, I killed a piece of trash with 1 move. The second time, I let the spirit kill 0. I haven't even fought yet. Why don't you fight with me again? Ghostly was about to cry when he heard that. The others also gasped. Damn, he wants to fight again. Does he want to fight all 5 rounds? If that's the case, a few more Sky Prides would be eliminated. Gue Li's expression became extremely ugly. His face was originally extremely pale. At this moment, he was about to cry. He looked like a clown from hell. I don't think I've offended Lin Gongzi, Ghostly said with difficulty. Lin Xian smiled. You haven't offended me? Who was the one who cooperated with Diling and mocked me? Do you think I'm stupid? I'll give you a chance. Hurry up and fight. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Damn it, this guy. Ghostly cursed in his heart. He didn't expect that Lin Xian would really fight him. Does he want to offend the 8 Sky Prides? However, he also realized that he didn't threaten him anymore. Those who threatened Lin Xian, such as Diling and Yu Qinya, had a miserable ending. If he continued to threaten him, he would probably fight to the death in the future. Therefore, he could only admit defeat and stand up. All right, then I'll ask Lin Gongzi to teach me a lesson. Ghostly stood up. His eyes were shining with a black light, and his body was filled with ghostly chi. He seemed to have turned into a ghost from hell. Buzz! He instantly appeared in front of Lin Xian. A pitch-black sword appeared in his hand, and he stabbed it towards Lin Xian's heart. What a fast speed! The surrounding people exclaimed. They didn't expect Ghostly to have such a movement technique even when his cultivation was suppressed. Lin Xian was also surprised. It seemed that this Ghostly was really going all out from the start. His figure flickered, turning into a phantom as he dodged quickly. He dodged the sword, but the pitch-black sword was extremely terrifying. Beams of sword light enveloped him. This was the 9 nether sword art, a sword art of the heavenly monument. Someone screamed. It was the divine steel's divine ability again. How was Lin Xian going to block it? Ghost Li's speed was extremely fast, and so was the 9 Serenities' sword technique. He didn't give Lin Xian any chance at all. The others could also see that if Lin Xian didn't have a chance to summon his heroic spirit, it would be very dangerous. This was because it was very difficult for other divine abilities to fight against Ghost Li. Just when everyone thought that Lin Xian was about to be suppressed, Lin Xian let out a long roar. Instead of retreating, he charged forward. His hand split open the sky and collided with the 9 Serenities' sword art. What? Was he crazy? Did that kid want to die? He actually wanted to use his physique to fight against the 9 Serenities' sword art? Damn it, did he think that he was outside? If he was outside and his divine ability wasn't suppressed, then it might be possible to fight against the 9 Serenities' sword art. But now, all of his divine abilities couldn't be used. Even his cultivation was suppressed to the first heaven. Would a first heaven sage dare to fight against such a sword art? They definitely wouldn't. But Lin Xian was different. So what if he was suppressed to the first heaven? His divine body of the first heaven wasn't something that these people could imagine. So with a long roar, he directly faced it head-on. With a boom, his fist and the 9 Serenities' sword collided, making a clanging sound. The 9 Serenities' sword art trembled from the impact, and Lin Xian kept retreating. What a terrifying sword art! He was shocked. However, he smiled, because his qi and blood were tumbling, but he wasn't injured. What? How was that possible? Everyone who saw this scene went crazy. In their opinion, Lin Xian would definitely be cut in half by the sword. But Lin Xian was actually unharmed. What kind of physique was that? Was that the physique of a first heaven sage? They wouldn't believe it, even if they were beaten to death. Ghost Li's face also became ugly again. Previously, when he saw the other party's reckless attack, he thought that the other party was an idiot. Who would have thought that the other party's physique was far beyond his imagination? So, after this attack, his arm was numb. Now he hadn't recovered yet. On the other side, Lin Xian used the illusory spirit spell, and the headless warrior was once again summoned by him. Ghost Li's soul scattered. He didn't dare to fight against this knight, and could only look for an opportunity to attack Lin Xian. After dozens of moves, he was still swept in the back by the headless knight's spear. His whole body was directly blasted out, and he vomited large mouthfuls of blood. I admit defeat. Ghost Li directly admitted defeat because he knew that if they continued to fight, it would be difficult for him to win. Perhaps his outcome would be the same as Diling being beaten to pieces. If not for Diling's battle, he might have fought with his life on the line. But when he saw that even Diling wasn't the other party's match, he completely gave up. This person was too monstrous. Ghost Li admitted defeat and was directly eliminated and became an in-name disciple. The array flickered, and he was also teleported out. The surrounding people were completely stunned. Ghost Li was in existence second only to Diling, and now Yi Luo was defeated. This Lin Wudi was really too strong. There was no good ending at all for opposing the other party. Lin Xian attacked 3 times in a row, knocking 3 out of the 8 geniuses out of the way. The other party still had 2 chances. Would the other party still attack? The other few of the 8 great prodigies were also facing a great enemy. They had no chance of winning at all against Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian had no intention of attacking again. He attacked 3 times because these 3 people provoked him one after another, especially Yu Qianye and Diling. They both had killing intent towards him. He naturally wanted to eliminate such people. As for the others, he wasn't interested. In other words, these people were no longer a threat to him. Seeing that Lin Xian didn't attack those experts, such as Stillwater Sky City's Sherbufan and the others, breathed a sigh of relief. It was too terrifying. If the other party attacked, they would be in danger. Next, it was the others' turn. A few of the 8 great prodigies came over and discussed with Shin Jingqiu. They wouldn't fight each other, and they would enter the next round together. Shin Jingqiu had no enmity with these people, so she naturally agreed. Next, it was the battle between the others. Among them, Shin Jingqiu attacked. She faced an expert who was very powerful. He wasn't one of the 8 great prodigies, but he had also comprehended the divine steel's divine ability. Shin Jingqiu fought with him, and the crowd was also incomparably shocked. In the end, Shin Jingqiu defeated her opponent, and it shocked Stillwater Sky City, Wang Xiaofeng, and the others. When did Shin Jingqiu become so powerful? Her divine steel's divine ability was also so powerful. Chapter 36-62. It should be because of Lin Wuti. Don't forget, Lin Wuti and Shen Jingqiu both started from the Xian steel. There must be something mysterious about it. Indeed, they spent 3 months to comprehend the divine steel, but it was not as fast as Lin Wuti's 1 month. There must be something wrong. However, they could not care less about it. It was too late to think about it now. At this moment, the battles continued. Outside, people were constantly being teleported out. Those who came out were all defeated. Actually, when Ghostly was teleported out, Yu Qinya was shocked again. Di Ling's face was also filled with shock. One of his arch-enemies had also been teleported out. Who was the one who kicked you out? Ghostly snorted. It was Lin Wuti. What? It was him again. Di Ling's eyelids twitched. Yu Qinya's face was also pale, but then he revealed a sinister look. 3 of the 8 geniuses were sent out, including the first and second place Di Ling and Ghostly. That kid was definitely unlucky. With Di Ling and Ghostly's methods and their background, how could they let each other off so easily? One must know that Ghostly was from the Fiend planet, and Di Ling was from the Spirit Sealing planet. These 2 worlds were extremely famous and terrifying worlds in the second astral boundary. If the people from these 2 worlds knew that Lin Xian had eliminated Di Ling and Ghostly, what would they do? They would definitely go crazy and assassinate Lin Xian. Thinking of this, Yu Qinya revealed a sinister look. But soon he frowned because he realized that Ghostly did not have much killing intent. One must know that when he and Di Ling were teleported out, they roared at the sky, their killing intent shocking the 9 heavens and 10 earths. When Ghostly came out, other than his expression being a little ugly, he did not do anything else. What was going on? Even Di Ling realized that something was wrong. He said, "Are you willing to accept this? So what if you are not willing? Who told me to provoke the other party?" Ghostly sneered. Could it be that the 2 of you still want to continue fighting with the other party? Of course. Who does he think he is to eliminate me? When I come out, I will definitely teach him a lesson. Di Ling's eyes exploded with extremely cold killing intent. After coming out, there was no cultivation suppression. His cultivation was almost 2 heavenly layers higher than the other party. Wouldn't it be easy for him to kill the other party? Yu Qinya also sneered. His cultivation was 1 level higher than his opponent's, so in the real world he could also kill his opponent. Looking at their expressions, Ghostly shook his head. That's your business. It has nothing to do with me. I won't do anything to him. At least, I won't assassinate him unless there's a special competition. Are you admitting defeat? Di Ling sneered. I didn't expect you to be so cowardly. Yu Qinya's eyes were also filled with unwillingness. Ghostly said coldly, "You can think whatever you want. Both of you are young masters of your families. I am different. I climbed up bit by bit from the Malevolence planet. On the Fiend planet, there were schemes and assassinations every day. Sometimes you wouldn't even know how you died. That's why my intuition told me that Lin Wuti was terrifying and that I shouldn't make an enemy out of him. For the sake of my future path, I will no longer be his enemy." After saying that, Ghostly ignored the 2 of them and stood there alone with a cold expression. Although he was eliminated the first time, he still had a chance. At most, he would wait for half a year and participate again. At that time, with his strength, it wouldn't be a problem for him to succeed. But this Lin Wuti, he couldn't afford to provoke him in the future. Di Ling didn't think so. He was different from Ghostly. He had always been a genius. Moreover, he was a genius from the first astral world. He had always been radiant. So, anyone who went against him would be trampled under his feet. Yu Qinya was even more so. He was the young master of the Yu clan. Since he was young, he had always been the center of attention. Someone dared to provoke him, he would use everything, even the power of his family, to destroy the other party. Seeing more and more people being eliminated, Yu Qinya's eyes flashed. He came to the side and said, "Brother Di Ling, don't you think this is too unusual? There are too many geniuses being eliminated. It's unfair to Wushuang City. Wushuang City will lose a lot of geniuses for nothing. Why don't we work together and talk to the elders of Wushuang City? With our status, we can work together with these geniuses and pressure them. Maybe." Before Yu Qinya could finish his words, Di Ling's eyes shone with cold light. He nodded slightly and turned his head. "Are you willing to accept this?" Those people naturally weren't willing to accept this. He said, "All right, follow me. We'll go and find the elders of Wushuang City." Di Ling led the group and quickly walked towards the distance. A roar sounded. "I, Di Ling, bring all the geniuses to seek an audience with the elders." His voice was like thunder, spreading in all directions. Soon, 5 pairs of people rushed over. The leading elder came. "What's going on? What's going on? This is Wushuang City. You can't be so presumptuous." "We don't want to be presumptuous, but some people are too despicable. They eliminated several geniuses from the 8 great geniuses. I think this is also a loss for Wushuang City." The elders who had arrived were also stunned. Di Ling, Guili, and Yu Qinya were indeed 3 of the 8 great geniuses. How could they be eliminated? There were also some other geniuses who were very eye-catching in the first round, but they were all eliminated. That was too unbelievable. For a moment, they frowned. To be honest, they didn't expect this to happen because, in their opinion, Di Ling was definitely the favorite to win the championship. Even if he couldn't become the chief disciple in the end, he would definitely be in the top 3. Gue Li was also very powerful. Yu Qinya was also extraordinary. But now those geniuses were eliminated. "Why don't we discuss this?" someone suggested. However, the elder who participated in the first round shook his head. No, the rules were the rules and they couldn't be changed. In an instant, the crowd began to discuss spiritedly. Those people that had been eliminated were also begging for another chance. Just as both sides were about to give up, a decree descended from the 9 heavens. Seeing that, the elders immediately became respectful. The others didn't dare to say anything because the aura from the decree was too terrifying. At first glance, it was obvious that it was from an extremely terrifying sage. The elders took it respectfully and took a look. Then they gasped. "All right, stop fooling around. Because of the special situation this time, I'll give you a chance. If you fail, you can only take the test half a year later, but this time it can be brought forward. 3 days later, you can take the test again. If you fail, you'll be eliminated immediately and leave Wushuang City. If you don't want to, you can take the test half a year later. You can decide for yourselves." Chapter 36-63. The elders gave 2 options. Everyone's eyes flickered when they heard that. Those who felt that they weren't too confident all chose to wait half a year before taking the test according to the usual rules. However, people like Di Ling and Yu Qinya decided to wait for the test 3 days later. Fail here? Impossible. They didn't believe that they had to pass the test and participate in the 3rd round. Then, they would kill Lin Wuti with their own strength. Ghostly had no choice. He decided to wait for half a year to avoid Lin Xian. At the same time, there were some geniuses who thought they were strong enough to wait for the test 3 days later. These people were brought to an independent palace and began to recover. They waited for the test 3 days later. As for the others, they became in-name disciples and went to another area. After the examinees left, the elders frowned. Why would the higher-ups issue such an order? They were also greatly surprised. Who knew? Some shook their heads. Maybe it was because too many geniuses were eliminated this time, or maybe it was because of other reasons. Anyway, no one could guess what the higher-ups meant. The elders nodded. However, if Di Ling and the others were allowed to enter the third round, the storm would be huge. There were no restrictions in the third round. Maybe that was what the higher-ups meant. Lin Wuti was too dazzling in the first 2 rounds. However, there were specific restrictions in the first 2 rounds. Maybe the higher-ups wanted to refine him. Weren't they afraid of going overboard? Would he die? Some elders frowned. One had to know that Di Ling, Yu Qinya, and the others were very strong. If they joined forces in the third round, Lin Wuti might be killed. If he died, so be it. There were countless geniuses in the world, but how many of them could walk out in the end? Lin Wuti was like that. Di Ling and Yu Qinya were the same. An elder's expression was cold. If we show mercy now, they will be killed by stronger geniuses in the future. The ancient star road was a road of no return. One must be prepared to die. This was a road that could only be walked by stepping on the corpses and blood of countless geniuses. In the Copper Sparrow Pavilion, the battle had ended. There were more than 10,000 geniuses left. Only 3,000 remained. The rest were all eliminated. The remaining people were filled with excitement. This was great. They could finally enter the next stage. What's the next round? Someone asked. Xin Jingqiu, Lin Xian, and the others also turned their heads to look. They were also very curious about the final stage. Was this the final stage? It was a real battle. A warrior from Peerless City walked out. For the final stage, we will send you to the East Spirit World. You will go there and carry out a mission. If you return successfully, you will pass the third test and become an official disciple of Peerless City. However, what I want to tell you is that the East Spirit World is a very special place. Not only will the people from Wushuang City be there for the assessment, the people from the other sacred cities will also be there. Furthermore, there would be some powerful demonic beasts that would appear as well. It could be said that it was a world that specialized in training. It was very dangerous inside. If they were unlucky, they might even die inside. Hearing this, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This time there were no restrictions. However, although there were no restrictions, there was still danger to his life. This was definitely not good news for them. No one wanted to be killed. Some people hesitated, and some people asked, what kind of mission? Was it very dangerous? The mission is for each of you to retrieve 10 pieces of East Spirit Stones. East Spirit Stones are unique to the East Spirit world, but they are not common. You will need to look for them carefully. Of course, you can also exchange, rob, or assassinate others. In short, you can do whatever you want. As long as you can successfully obtain 10 pieces and return alive, you will pass. Obtaining 10 pieces of East Spirit Stones by hook or by crook. Hearing this, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. It was so dangerous. It was much more dangerous than they had imagined. However, they also knew that this should be a path that they had to pass. After all, if they were afraid of death, they should not cultivate. To be able to reach this step, which one of them did not go through hundreds of battles and climb up from countless corpses. Therefore, although everyone was hesitant, no one backed down. According to the time you return, the ranking of the third stage will be determined. The ranking of the 3 stages added together will be your final ranking. At this point, everyone took a deep breath. The first place of the second stage would definitely be Lin Wuti again, because no one could surpass him. He was the person who eliminated Di Ling and Ghostly. If no one backs out, then rest for a day and adjust your body. I will send you to the East Spirit World. Everyone nodded and began to rest. The martial artists of Peerless City formed seals with their palms, and immediately everyone was enveloped. In the next moment, those people exclaimed. They felt a huge and powerful life force enter their bodies. This was Peerless City helping them recover. Great! Their faces were filled with excitement as they absorbed with all their might. Under such circumstances, these people recovered in about half a day. For the next half a day, these people closed their eyes and rested. They maintained their peak condition throughout. A day later, these people stood up. The martial artists of Peerless City led them out of the Copper Sparrow Terrace. After walking out, an elder came over and said a few words. The martial artists of Peerless City were stunned. What happened? Lin Xian, Shen Jingqiu, and the others were also puzzled. A martial artist of Peerless City turned his head and said he had just received news that those who were eliminated previously would have an extra chance. In 3 days, they would participate in the assessment. Those who succeed will also enter the 3rd stage and compete with you. You must be mentally prepared. What? There was such a thing. Many people's faces changed. Then Diling, Guili, and the others would be back. Thinking of this, their scalps went numb. Among them, Sherbufan, Shui Tiancheng, and the others looked at Lin Xian with a trace of sympathy in their eyes. Shen Jingqiu also frowned. Brother Lin, you must be careful. I'm afraid those guys will take revenge on you. Don't worry. Lin Xian did not care too much. Firstly, it seemed that the East Spirit world was a huge world. It would not be easy to meet them. Furthermore, the other party would arrive 3 days later. The situation in the Eastern Spirit world was extremely dangerous. Whether these people could survive or not was another matter. Even if he really met them, would he be afraid of them? Things were getting more and more interesting. He hoped to meet them inside. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a sharp light. At that time, he would let them know that even if they were outside, he could still trample them under his feet with his true strength. All right, I'm just informing you about this. You should think about how to get the 10 pieces of East Spirit Stone and come back alive. The martial artists of Peerless City led the 3,000 people on the road again. Chapter 36-64. Finally, they came to a huge square. On the square, there was a flashing array that looked ancient and complicated. Everyone boarded the array, and the martial artists of Peerless City activated the array. The array flashed and teleported everyone away. Looking at the departing figures, the eyes of the martial artists and elders of Peerless City flickered. One of them sighed, wondering how many of them would be able to return alive. Buzz, buzz, buzz! When the power of the array disappeared, Lin Xian opened his eyes. In the next moment, he roared, and the 9-yang divine body shone brightly to defend himself. At the same time, he looked around. Where's Qiu-er? He realized that Shen Jingqiu was gone. Not only Shen Jingqiu and Sherbufan, but the people of Stillwater Sky City were all gone. It seemed that this was not only a spatial teleportation array, but also a random teleportation array that teleported them to various places in this world. It seemed that he could only find Qiu, or while searching for the East Spirit Stone. Thinking of this, his body swayed and he wanted to leave. However, at that moment, he stopped. In fact, his expression became incomparably serious. Buzz, buzz, buzz! Above his head, a strong wind blew, and a dark cloud appeared. Taking a closer look, it was not a dark cloud, but a pair of wings. It was a demonic beast, and its wings covered the sky. The aura on it was too terrifying. Everywhere it passed, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Damn, this was the East Spirit world. Lin Xian's eyes widened. F***CK, this is a powerful demonic beast saint. Not only him, but the others also saw it. After being teleported to the East Spirit world, they were ready to search for the East Spirit Stone. But as soon as they moved, they saw one terrifying scene after another. For example, a divine ape that could kick 2 mountains away with a little force. A demonic wolf that could make the stars fall from the sky with a roar. There was also a giant python that could swallow half the sky with its mouth open. This scene stunned all of the sages who were taking the test. Damn it, what kind of place had they come to? These people were really terrified. Let's hurry up and find the 10 East Spirit Stones and go back. Those who were scattered around the world began to move. When they left those powerful demonic beasts, they heaved a sigh of relief. That's great. A cold light burst out from one of their eyes. He soared into the sky, wanting to leave this place. But at this time, an emerald green, poisonous snake suddenly appeared on the tree and coiled around his neck. It bit him. Immediately, his body turned black and he fell to the ground, twitching nonstop. This poison was extremely terrifying. Even if this person was a third heaven saint, he could not withstand it. In the end, he could only escape with his soul, screaming as he fled. This was not the only case. At least 5 or 6 people were attacked in an instant. It couldn't be helped. These people still didn't know enough about this place. It was obvious that they had been careless. Xian also frowned. This was indeed a terrifying place. He activated his heavenly secret divine eyes and looked around before leaving quickly. However, at this moment, the ground beneath his feet also cracked open, and a claw swiped towards his leg. He wanted to crush his leg. Lin Xian laughed coldly. He had long since noticed that something was amiss. Now that the enemy was attacking, he stamped his foot. Boom! The earth trembled as the claw was shattered into pieces. There was a roar from the ground, and a huge creature rushed out. It was a rat. Of course, it was not an ordinary rat. It was a beast saint. The purple fur all over its body shone brightly. Strands of laws surrounded it, and the shattered claw quickly healed. In its emerald green eyes, there was a terrifying, murderous intent. With a roar, it rushed over. Obviously, it wanted to tear the human who injured it to pieces. Get lost! Lin Xian roared and kicked out like a coiling dragon. Boom! When they collided, an earth-shattering sound was heard, followed by a scream. Then, the huge purple rat was sent flying. Its bones were shattered, and many cracks appeared on its body. Its eyes were filled with fear. Damn it, what was wrong with this human? Why was his physique so strong? One had to know that it was not an ordinary rat. It was a mutated species of earth demon rat. Its cultivation had reached the third heaven. It was a third heaven beast saint. In its opinion, killing a human of the same level was a piece of cake. But now it realized that it could not do so. The other party's physique was too strong. Run, beast saints were not idiots. They had great wisdom and were not inferior to humans at all. Their physiques were stronger than humans. At this moment, after it knew that it was no match for Lin Xian, it immediately burrowed into the ground, wanting to escape. You want to leave? Can you leave? Lin Xian sneered. With a stomp of his foot, a huge crack spread forward. The entire ground was trampled into a canyon by him. The earth demon, rat underground, was also shaken out. It burrowed deeper into the ground desperately. You still don't want to come out, right? In that case, don't blame me. Lin Xian sneered, took out the Great Destruction Spear, and stabbed it into the ground. The Great Destruction Spear was a sacred artifact. It grew infinitely and pierced through the ground. In the next moment, a miserable cry came from the depths of the ground. Lin Xian waved the Great Destruction Spear with force. The ground cracked open, and the Great Destruction Spear was retrieved from the ground. There was a purple phantom on the spear. It was the Earth Demon Rat. At this moment, it was pierced by the Great Destruction Spear, and its face was filled with fear. Don't kill me, I beg you, spare my life. This huge beast spoke in human language, its face filled with fear. To be honest, it was cursing in its heart. Damn it, it had kicked an iron plate. It originally thought that this was a hothead and new prey. Who knew that the other party was so strong? Lin Xian sneered. Don't kill you? Sure, it depends on whether you have value or not. Yes, I do. The Earth Demon Rat hurriedly nodded. Sir, You should be a trial taker who just entered the East Spirit world. I'm quite familiar with the terrain here. I can be your guide." Hearing this, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He had just come here and was indeed unfamiliar with the place. If there was a beast saint who could lead the way for him, it would be much more convenient. "But why should I believe you? If I let you go, what if you run away or fight back? Otherwise, I'll plant a restriction in your body." "What? Plant a restriction? Wouldn't that be at the mercy of others?" The Earth Demon Rat was 100% unwilling. It said, "With my little strength, what tricks can I play in front of you?" Lin Xian sneered. "Don't give me that. You demons are born cunning. I'll give you two choices now. First, I'll plant a restriction in you to make you listen to me during this period. Second, I'll kill you now and then collect your soul. You choose. I choose the first." The Earth Demon Rat did not want to die. It could only helplessly. Lin Xian smiled. "Don't worry, your choice is correct. I won't control you for too long. I'm only in this East Spirit world for trial. After I'm done with the trial, I'll let you go." Chapter 3665. Okay, I hope you keep your word. The Earth Demon Rat had no choice but to accept this condition. Lin Xian planted a restriction in the other party's mind. As long as the other party dared to betray him, he could immediately kill the other party. Then, he withdrew the spear of great destruction. The other party quickly recovered and said at the same time, "What do you want to ask? Ask away." Lin Xian said, "Do you know the East Spirit Stone? Where can I get it?" East Spirit Stone? The Earth Demon Rat was stunned, and then the corner of its mouth twitched. It seemed that, young master, you are the disciple of the Holy City's assessment. "Oh, do you know?" Lin Xian nodded. He knew that many Holy Cities' assessment required the East Spirit Stone. However, there weren't many of these things, and they weren't easy to obtain. Cut the crap. Where is it? Tell me. Lead the way, and tell me about the situation here. Okay, the Earth Demon Rat had no choice. Its life was in the other party's hands, and it couldn't resist. He said, "Let's talk as we walk." As it spoke, its body began to shrink. In the end, it became only the size of a fist. It was very cute. It jumped onto Lin Xian's shoulder and said, "Fly east." Lin Xian's figure flashed, and he flew at a low altitude. At this time, Little White also flew out. He came to Lin Xian's other shoulder, looked at the Earth Demon Rat, and said, "Oh, I've taken in another underling." Lin Xian smiled and rubbed Little White's head. The Earth Demon Rat was unhappy. "Underling? Underling my ass. Damn monkey." It let out a roar, and a terrifying demon Saint Aura surged out. It was a third heaven demon. Could it not scare a little monkey to death? However, Little White only dug its ears. "Yeah, so noisy." Then its furry little claws slapped over and slapped the Earth Demon Rat's head. The Earth Fiend Demonic Rat felt dizzy, and its entire body fainted. A few seconds later, it came back to its senses. The next moment, it looked at Little White with a face full of fear. *CK, what an evil monkey. At the same time, it was shocked. Wow, even a monkey was so difficult to deal with. This person was too strange. It was better not to provoke them. He chuckled. "Brother Monkey, I'm your new little brother. What kind of spirit fruit do you want to eat? Tell me, and I'll bring you to find it later." Earth Fiend Demonic Rat appeared to be fawning on the surface, but it was extremely depressed in its heart. It was a third Firmament Demon Sage, an overlord of an area, but at this moment he was reduced to being a lackey. "Yeah, I want to eat angel fruit, Kirin fruit." Little White listed out the names of many fruits. After the Earth Fiend Demonic Rat heard this, the corner of its mouth twitched, and it almost vomited blood. How was this a spirit fruit? This was simply a divine elixir. How could there be one here? He could only play dumb and stop responding. Instead, he began to guide Lin Xian. Lin Xian's figure flickered as he quickly flew forward. Suddenly, a huge hand reached out from the mountains and slapped towards him. The heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. The mountains shattered and the earth split open. This palm was truly incomparably terrifying. Lin Xian was directly hit. Earth fiend demonic rat was so scared that it peed its pants. It thought that it was definitely going to die, but it didn't expect Lin Xian to release countless sword qi and block the attack. Although it was sent flying, it didn't suffer too much injury. Buzz! Lin Xian soared into the sky and came to the void. He looked into the distance and frowned. Damn it, someone was sneaking an attack on him. No, to be precise, it wasn't a human, but a beast that was sneaking an attack on him. What is this? Lin Xian asked. Earth fiend demonic rat took a look and its scalp went numb. It's a lightning beast. Let's take a detour. Why, is it very powerful? Lin Xian asked. Of course it's very powerful. Moreover, it's not a native beast of the East Spirit world. It's from outside. What does that mean? Lin Xian was even more surprised. The earth fiend demonic rat said, Didn't I tell you that Sister Dongling is a training ground? Apart from your holy city, the other holy cities, as well as the major powers and clans, will also send disciples and experts here. This lightning beast came in from outside for the trial. They should be from the Demon City. Demon City. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. In that case, it should also be a sacred city. Earth fiend demonic rat nodded. That's right, it's indeed a sacred city, and it's a sacred city of the demon clan. There's no one inside, only demons and other 10,000 ancient races. They were very powerful and brutal. In the East Spirit world, they even specialized in hunting humans. This lightning beast is not only from the Lightning Clan, but also from the Demon City. Therefore, we can't provoke it. Let's take a detour. Is it from the Demon City? Interesting. Lin Xian smiled. What's there to be afraid of? You and Xiao Bai watch from the side. I'll go and meet him. Lin Xian was too excited. To be honest, the previous 2 trials were indeed novel to him, but the battles were not satisfying. Especially in the second round, people like Di Ling, Ghostly, and the others were no longer his opponents. He needed to find a new opponent, but he didn't expect to meet people from other sacred cities as soon as he entered. How could he not be excited? Only by constantly fighting could he break through his limits again and again. Therefore, Lin Xian's target was this lightning beast. The lightning beast also walked out of the mountain range, surrounded by lightning, especially its eyes, which were even more terrifying and carried a terrifying aura. Wherever its gaze passed, the void would constantly shatter. Human ant, come here and die. His voice was filled with endless majesty. Come here, but you're the one who's going to die. Lin Xian's right hand swept out. It was as if a part of the world was surrounded by the 5 elemental laws. He directly slapped over. Before his palm landed, the mountain range in front of him kept shattering. It couldn't withstand this force at all. Courting death. The lightning beast was furious. The other party dared to attack him. He was courting death. He opened his mouth and spat out a bolt of lightning. This was a lightning technique. It flickered with unparalleled light, like a heavenly sword that could destroy everything in the world. In his opinion, an early stage, 3rd heaven sage would definitely not be able to withstand his attack. Boom! The 5 elemental palm collided with the other party's lightning. A thunderous sound was heard. An entire forest area was completely destroyed. Countless demonic beasts fled. They knew that there were 2 behemoths in the middle of a battle. After the first attack, Lin Xian continued to attack. His palms continued to slam out, each of them like a 5 elemental mountain, pressing down on the lightning beast. The lightning beast was completely enraged. Damn it, how could it be? How could the other party's physique be so strong? Roar. He roared. He didn't believe it at all and charged over. As a monster, His physique was much stronger than a human's. He didn't believe that an early stage, third heaven sage could compete with him. One had to know that he was at the mid-stage, third heaven sage. He was one small realm higher than the other party. Such a small realm was enough for him to easily kill the other party. The two of them engaged in close combat. When the earth fiend demonic rat saw this scene, his scalp went numb. Damn it, come back quickly and attack from afar. Use your supernatural powers to attack him. He realized that Lin Xian also wanted to engage in close combat. He was really too stupid. Wasn't this like an egg hitting a rock? Chapter 36:66. Little White, who was at the side, waved its furry little paws. Yeah, it's safe. As it spoke, it took out a spiritual fruit and began to eat it. Its big black eyes blinked as it looked ahead, as if it was watching a good show. This monkey was too heartless. Its master was about to die. The earth demonic rat's eyes flickered. It was ready to escape. It was no match for this lightning beast. So when the person in front of it died, it immediately fled. Even its two claws had already begun to quietly dig into the ground. However, at this moment, the sound of bones breaking came from the front, as well as an earth-shattering roar. The sky in all directions kept shattering. The earth demonic rat raised its head and looked into the distance. Then its eyes almost fell out. He saw that the lightning beast's enormous body was actually sent flying backwards, smashing countless mountains into pieces. Not only that, blue blood flowed out from the other party's body. It was injured. The lightning beast was actually injured. God, this human youth was too terrifying, wasn't he? It was stunned. At the same time, the lightning beast was also stunned. Its heart was filled with infinite fear and anger. It was actually injured by a human. It was too unbelievable. More importantly, this human's cultivation was lower than his. With a roar, it used its bloodline talent. The speed of the Lightning Clan was extremely fast. In an instant, it disappeared. When it reappeared, it was behind Lin Xian. It was like teleportation. Go to hell. His two palms turned into two heavenly blades and slashed down mercilessly. This attack should have killed the other party, right? Puff! The void shattered and turned into chaos. However, the lightning beast's heart suddenly stopped. It missed. That's right, it felt that this attack had slashed into the void and did not hit the other party at all. Damn it, where was the other party? It looked ahead in disbelief. Disappeared, the other party disappeared. Was the other party's speed so fast? It was even faster than its bloodline talent. This was impossible. She was from the Lightning Clan, a lightning type demonic saint. In addition to her bloodline talent, who could surpass her speed among the same level. Not to mention a third heaven saint. Even a fourth heaven saint might not be as fast as her. Are you looking for me? At this moment, a cold voice came from behind. What? Had the other party already arrived behind him? When had he arrived? Why didn't he notice it at all? Thinking of this, he broke out in a cold sweat. His opponent's speed had already surpassed his? How was this possible? He turned his head and saw a fist coming at him. It was a golden fist that was shining with multicolored light. Not good. He wanted to dodge, but it was too late. This punch landed directly on his face, causing his head to explode in an instant. His entire body fell to the ground. Next, he felt more than 1,000,000 attacks. He was torn into pieces and turned into a bloody mist. The ground fiend demonic rat opened its eyes wide. It could not believe that the lightning beast was actually being beaten up by the other party. This was too inconceivable. The lightning beast was so scared that it peed its pants. This human before, it was definitely one of the top geniuses out there. To think that it could not beat him. Run quickly. The blood turned into streams of light and fled into the distance. However, how could Lin Xian let him escape? The sword chi of the dragon, traversing, sword flew out and formed a sword field. It shrouded the area in front of him and completely enveloped the blood of the other party. Next, tens of thousands of sword chi erupted together. The blood kept being obliterated. A miserable and terrified voice sounded. "No, you can't do it. I'm from the Demon City." He let out a crazy roar. The exam was useless. No matter what demon city you were from, as long as you dared to make a move, Lin Xian would not let you go. In the end, a soul fled in panic and was shattered into pieces by Lin Xian with the Great Destruction Spear. Nothing was left in front of him. All right, he could continue on his way. Lin Xian waved his hand and said to the ground fiend demonic right behind him. Little White flew back, and the ground fiend demonic rat's body stiffened. He was completely stunned at this moment. Previously, he was forced to submit to the other party and was still dissatisfied in his heart. But now, he no longer dared to have any dissatisfaction. The other party's strength had completely stunned it. What kind of human was this? This was simply a god. Next, he continued on his way. 3 days later, Lin Xian obtained his first East Spirit Stone. He obtained it in a valley. If it wasn't for the ground fiend demonic rat leading the way, he wouldn't have been able to find it. A piece of East Spirit Stone was crystal clear and flickering with light. This kind of stone was a very important material for making array formations. Lin Xian carefully put away the East Spirit Stone. Then he narrowed his eyes. Now that he had gotten the East Spirit Stone, it wouldn't be too far away. With a sway of his body, he left again. 2 days later, he found a second piece of East Spirit Stone. This piece of East Spirit Stone was on an ancient tree. He didn't know who put it here. Lin Xian's figure flashed, and he stepped on the air. He arrived above the ancient tree and reached out to grab the second piece. However, at this moment, there was a crisis. Suddenly, 2 golden rays of light rushed out from the ancient tree. This sudden change stunned Lin Xian, and he subconsciously blocked with his hand. With a bang, he was sent flying. His entire arm was numb. Damn it, what was this thing? Its strength was too strong. One had to know that he had the 9-yang divine body. Especially now, his physique was completely equivalent to a 4th firmament saint. He could even withstand a few attacks from a 5th firmament saint. Once he activated the Qilin tattoo, his physique would be even stronger. Although he hadn't activated the Qilin tattoo, not everyone could hurt him. However, this golden light made his entire body feel as if he had been struck by lightning. He was sent flying. At the same time, another voice sounded in his ears. Not good. It turned out that the earth fiend demonic rat was hit by another golden light. Its entire body was penetrated, and it let out a miserable cry. That golden light turned back and stabbed at the earth fiend demonic rat's head. Save me. The earth fiend demonic rat's face was filled with fear. Although he was also a 3rd firmament demon saint, he didn't even have the strength to fight back in front of this golden light. When Lin Xian saw this scene, he was instantly furious. The earth fiend demonic rat was his guide and the most crucial existence to finding the East Tombstone. How could he allow others to attack him? Thinking of this, he roared angrily, clenched his hand into a fist, and directly grabbed at the golden line. He grabbed it with one hand. However, Lin Xian was also sent flying, crashing into countless forests. At this moment, another golden light charged toward Xiaobai. However, Xiaobai's speed was very fast. With a flash of its body, it disappeared into the void and dodged this attack. Humph! Lin Xian roared angrily. He activated the black Qilin tattoo on his body, and his physique became stronger. He waved his fists and sent the 2 golden lights flying. Buzz! He grabbed the earth fiend demonic rat and brought it to his side. How is it? Lin Xian asked. The earth fiend demonic rat's face was filled with fear. It wouldn't die, but it was almost. If you didn't make a move, I would definitely die today. Chapter 3667. As he healed his wounds, His face was filled with horror. After the two golden lights in front of him were sent flying, they did not attack immediately. Instead, they stopped in midair. Only then did Lin Xian realize that they were actually two bugs. Two of them had wings and were yellow all over. There were black patterns on their bodies, and they looked like bees. How was that possible? Lin Xian was completely stunned. How could two bees make them so miserable? In fact, they seemed to be able to easily kill any level 3 sage. Even a level 4 sage might not be able to block them. What kind of bee was this? It was too terrifying. After the earth demon demonic rat saw it, its scalp went numb. Damn it, the killer saint bee was meant to kill sages. Lin Xian also gasped when he heard that. Just the name alone was enough to tell that it was a terrifying existence. He asked, "Are they native to the East Spirit World or the Demon City? Or are they raised by a sage?" "They should be native to the East Spirit World. I've heard of the killer saint bee before, but I didn't expect it to be here." At this point, its voice trembled. "Is their hive on the ancient tree in front of us? If that's the case, we're dead meat. Let's go." Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light. He looked ahead and heaved a sigh of relief. To be honest, he was also muttering in his heart. Two killer saint bees were already so powerful. If there was a hive of them, he could only run away. But fortunately, it seemed that this was not their nest. He just didn't know why they were here. Lin Xian looked at the East Spirit Stone again and frowned. Perhaps someone brought the East Spirit Stone here and was killed. This could also explain why the East Spirit Stone was on the tree. Let's go. There are other East Spirit Stones in other places. Don't worry. The East Spirit Stone is right in front of us. How can we give up? Besides, other places might have East Spirit Stones, but other places might not have killer saint bees. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. Seeing this scene, the earth demon demonic rat was dumbfounded. "What are you trying to do? Are you trying to attack killer saint bees?" "No way, don't provoke this thing. If a group of them comes, we'll definitely die." "Don't worry, I have a way." Lin Xian's eyes shone with golden light. He said, "Xiao Bai, go get the East Spirit Stone, and leave these two bees to me." Xiao Bai's body flickered and flew towards the ancient tree. Seeing the scene, the killer saint bees with the demon demonic beast with them, saint bees, sword, saint bees, saint bee, sword with saint with I heaven. This was a kind of control type technique. Light moonlight shadow. At this moment, the two saint-slaying peaks were shaking nonstop. They had received a huge soul attack. With a flap of its wings, two streaks of golden light clashed in the air. Wherever it passed, large black cracks appeared in the void. To the Titalin to of A. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was constantly using his eye techniques to attack his opponent's soul. Half an hour later, the two killer saint bees were no longer so irritable. They stopped in midair. "Come here." Lin Xian waved his hand, and the two killer saint bees flew over and landed on his palm. Lin Xian looked at them carefully. He had to admit that these two killer saint bees were very beautiful. The black spots on their bodies were like Tao patterns, full of mysterious aura. "Come out, it's fine now." He stomped the ground with his foot. The earth demon demonic rat came out, looking around with its green eyes. "Have you killed them?" "No, they're in my hand." As he spoke, he stretched out his palm. When the earth demon demonic rat saw the two killer saint bees in his palm, it was scared out of its wits. It wanted to leave, but it was kicked out by Lin Xian. "Now they're mine." "Yours? What do you mean?" The earth demon demonic rat stopped. It waited for a long time and found that the two killer saint bees did not attack. Only then did it heave a sigh of relief. "I've already controlled their souls. They're mine now." The simple words made the earth demon demonic rat's hair stand on end. This is an eye technique. and it's an extremely terrifying technique. This young man is too powerful. Fortunately, it cooperated obediently before. Otherwise, the other party would directly control its soul and turn it into a walking corpse. It would not have any ability to resist. These two killer Saint Bees might play an unexpected role. Lin Xian kept it. Then he took the East Spirit Stone from Little White. Let's go. With a wave of his hand, they were on their way again. While Lin Xian was collecting the spirit stones, another group of people arrived in the East Spirit World. These people were the second batch of candidates from Wushuang City, which was Di Ling, Yu Qinya, and the others. They waited for 3 days before taking the test again. After passing the test, they were teleported here. When they first arrived, they were also shocked by the terror of the East Spirit World. However, a few of them sneered. For example, Yu Qinya's eyes were red. Finally, it was the third stage. Lin Xian, you can't escape. I'll tear you to pieces. On the other side, Di Ling was the same. Lin Wudi, you dare to eliminate me? I'll make you wish you were dead. His body swayed, and he rushed into the sky, entering the mountain range. In the mountains, a waterfall flowed down. Below the waterfall, there was a beautiful figure like a fairy. She took out an East Spirit Stone from the waterfall, then wiped the water off her face. She looked around. This is the second East Spirit Stone. I wonder how Brother Lin is doing now. She was Shen Jingqiu. At this moment, she had also obtained the second East Spirit Stone, but she still had not met Lin Xian. With Brother Lin's strength, there should be no problem here. But Brother Lin might be worried about me. No, I can't distract Brother Lin. Shen Jingqiu thought for a moment, then spat out a purple cloud. Then she spoke to the cloud. Brother Lin, Choer is safe. You don't have to look for me. Gather the 10 East Spirit Stones, and we'll meet at East Spirit Mountain. East Spirit Mountain was the final destination. After the people of Wushuang City gathered the 10 East Spirit Stones, they would head to East Spirit Mountain. From there, they could return to Wushuang City. After speaking, Shen Jingqiu waved her hand, and the purple cloud floated in the sky, carrying her aura. As long as Lin Xian saw her, he would definitely recognize her. Then, Lin Xian would be able to hear what she said. After doing this, Shen Jingqiu identified a direction and left. Not long after she left, a figure flew over and merged into the waterfall. Then he sighed. The East Spirit Stone was taken away by someone. Then he looked up at the sky. Not too far away. This is Shen Jingqiu's aura. He had just left. In the middle of the lake, millions of water droplets condensed into a handsome young man. It was Yu Qinya. Chapter 36-68. Should he go and kill Shen Jingqiu? Yu Qinya thought about it and gave up. Forget it. My main target is that kid. As long as I kill that kid, the Holy Lady of the Spirit Tribe is nothing to be afraid of. Looking at this purple cloud, it should be able to lure that kid over. All right, I'll wait here. When he comes, I'll show him how powerful I am. There was a waterfall in the mountains. There should be an East Spirit Stone hidden in it, if it hadn't been taken away. The Earth Demon Rat's eyes flashed, and it started to point the way again. Lin Xian set off towards the location of the third East Spirit Stone. He flew all the way to the mountains. Before he reached the waterfall, he stopped. In the next moment, he saw a ball of purple aura in the sky, a ball of purple cloud. He was stunned. The Earth Demon Rat was also stunned. What a strange cloud. Who spat out? Lin Xian was suddenly enlightened. It was Qiu. Qiu, I must have left it behind. Buzz. He probed with a large hand and grabbed at the sky. As he moved, the waterfall on the other side also changed. Countless splashes of water turned into streaks of flowing light and rushed towards him. In an instant, the void in front of him was pierced. Oh no, there's an enemy. The Earth Demon Rat screamed again. Lin Xian shouted coldly. With a wave of his hand, he uprooted the ground and formed a huge mountain in front of him. At the same time, his figure flashed and he appeared in another space. He grabbed the purple cloud in his hand. Was it a trap? His face was cold. However, at this moment, Shen Jingqiu's voice came from the cloud. "Brother Lin, I'm fine. You don't have to look for me. We'll meet at Dongling Mountain." It was Qiu Er's voice. There was no doubt about it. Furthermore, Qiu Er didn't seem to be in any danger. Who was the one who attacked? Since it wasn't a trap, Lin Xian turned his head and looked into the distance. He saw that in the waterfall, the seawater condensed into a figure. "Kid, you're finally here." The figure stood on the surface of the water. The murderous aura from his body was earth-shattering. A fourth heaven saint. The earth fiend demonic rat was pushed far away again, its face full of fear. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. "It's you, you bastard, you're here too." She didn't expect that the one waiting for her here was actually Yu Qinya. Was this mist left behind by Yu Qinya to confuse him? No, that shouldn't be the case. Qiu must have left it behind, and Yu Qinya must have discovered it after she left. In an instant, he understood. A loser like you actually managed to enter. I have to say that you're really lucky. However, you didn't cherish this opportunity and even dared to cause trouble for me. Are you tired of living? Lin Xian sneered. In his opinion, this Yu Qinya was an idiot. Even now, he still dared to provoke him. Wasn't this courting death? Yu Qinya snorted coldly. "Brat, don't be so arrogant. The reason why you passed the second stage was because of the suppression of your innate techniques and cultivation base. Otherwise, do you think you can defeat me? Today, in this place, without any suppression, I will let you know my strength. I will let you die in despair." At the end of his words, the wind and rain changed. The waterfall behind him spun nonstop, turning into a silver dragon that crawled under Yu Qinya's feet. "Brat, use the 2 bees you just got to kill him." The earth fiend demonic rat quickly said from behind. "Kill him? Forget it. It's such a precious thing. Isn't it a waste to kill a trash? What a joke." Killing the bees was Lin Xian's trump card. He would only use it when necessary. He didn't put a mere Yu Qinya in his eyes. He raised his head and said indifferently, "Since you want to fight with me, show me your full strength. Attack with your full strength, or you won't have any chance. I should be the one saying that. You better use your full strength, or I can kill you in one move." Yu Qinya sneered. "Is that so? Let me attack first?" "Sure." Lin Xian nodded. "Then do you want to give me 3 moves?" "So what?" Yu Qinya sneered. He had absolute confidence in this place. He was an entire realm higher than his opponent. Not to mention 3 moves, he could easily kill his opponent with 300 moves. What he wanted to do now was to let his opponent know what despair was. "Since that's the case, I won't hold back." Lin Xian sneered. What an idiot. He really wanted to know what his opponent's expression would be after this move. Thinking of this, he clenched his fist and punched out. It was extremely fast. In an instant, he appeared in front of his opponent and punched out. Instantly, his opponent was torn into pieces. Ah! A miserable cry rang out. The sky was filled with saint blood. Yu Qianya's corpse fell into the waterfall. This scene stunned the earth fiend demonic rats at the back. He came back to his senses. This person in the 4th heaven isn't much. He's such an idiot. How can he stand there and let others hit him? The snow-white little monkey beside him said while eating a spirit fruit. Did water get into his brain? Lin Xian said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I use too much strength? Ah, damn brat. I'm going to kill you." Yu Qianya's body, which had been torn to pieces, quickly healed. His handsome face instantly became distorted. Damn it. I was too careless. How can my opponent be so strong? He must have secretly used a saint artifact. Damn it. My opponent is too despicable. I won't let you off. The law on his body spread out. A terrifying aura surged out. Lin Xian said, "What? You want to fight? Didn't you say you would let me have 3 moves? This is only the first move. There are still 2 more. You won't go back on your words, right? These words were like slaps to the face. Yu Qianya's face was incomparably ugly. Previously, he was extremely confident and said he would let his opponent have 3 moves. Who would have thought that his opponent's strength was beyond his expectations? His body was shattered in the first move. If he hit him 2 more times, he would be seriously injured. So he gritted his teeth and said, "Despicable brat, you're too shameless. I take back my words." Take back my words? I'm despicable and shameless? I think you're too shameless. Someone like you is also a 4th-level saint? You don't even keep your words. What a joke. Humph. Who would know here? Yu Qianya said shamelessly. Indeed, there's only 2 people here. So what if he's shameless? Damn it. I've never seen someone so shameless. The earth fiend demonic rat at the back could not stand it anymore. This guy is too thick-skinned. Who said no one saw it? Aren't we humans? Bah, we're demons. But what's wrong? Can't demons look down on you? A smelly rat dares to clamor in front of me? Yu Qianya's killing intent was awe-inspiring. The earth fiend demonic rat took 2 steps back. However, when he thought of Lin Xian, he was not afraid. Do you think you can be shameless just because there's no one here? I'll let you see the consequences of being shameless. Relatives come out. Chapter 36:69. The earth demon demonic rat roared, and the ground trembled. Countless rats jumped out. These rats might not be as strong as the earth demon demonic rat, but there were too many of them. They were densely packed, and pairs of green eyes looked around. Oh, it was their ancestor. When they saw the earth demon demonic rat, they kept worshipping it. Indeed, with the earth demon demonic rat's identity as a level 3 demonic rat, he could indeed be their ancestor. The earth demon demonic rat told countless descendants to remember this person. He was despicable and shameless. What was his name? His name was Yu Qianya. Lin Xian said, "Yes, yes, yes, remember this, Yu Qianya. He was despicable and shameless. Hurry up and spread the word. Let everyone in the East Spirit world know that there was such a shameless guy. Courting death." Yu Qianya was mad. A small demonic beast dared to be arrogant in front of him? He raised his hand and a ray of light flew out. The earth demon demonic rat was shocked. Fortunately, Lin Xian made a move. With a wave of his hand, he directly shattered the ray of light. Lin Xian sneered. Why? Was what he said wrong? Weren't you despicable and shameless? Humph! You're sharp-tongued. Now I'll make you wish you were dead. As he spoke, Yu Qianya's body swayed, turned into countless water droplets, and rushed forward quickly. What a terrifying movement technique! The earth demon demonic rat was shocked to see it from afar. Indeed, Yu Qianya's body seemed to have turned into countless water droplets. He killed people without leaving a trace. Every drop could penetrate a level 3 demonic rat. It could be said that it was very terrifying. Boom, boom, boom. Lin Xian was instantly enveloped by these water droplets. Those raindrops fell on his body, making sonorous sounds like thousands of thunder. That space was completely shattered and annihilated. No way it was completely hit. The earth demon demonic rat was terrified. Yu Qianya's lips curled into a smile. Humph, idiot kid. I already said that you're not mine at all outside. Before he finished speaking, his eyes widened. How was this possible? He screamed and retreated. Because he saw that under his attack, Lin Xian walked out, his body shining with golden light. He was unharmed. He was not injured at all. It was too unbelievable. The opponent's physique was actually comparable to that of a 4th heaven saint. It was really shocking. Is this what you have to be proud of? Your strength outside isn't that great either. Lin Xian's lips curled into a cold smile. He raised his hand and unleashed a beam of golden, sword chi. In an instant, the sword chi shattered the air and slashed towards Yu Qinya. Wang. Yu Qinya's body turned into countless water droplets. After dodging the sword, he sneered, "Useless brat, you can't hurt me at all. I have the body of true water." At this point, he laughed proudly. His physique and bloodline were extraordinary, unfathomably deep. "Can't hurt you? Are you sure?" Lin Xian sneered at the other party. The other party's strength was only SOO. To be honest, he had no interest in tangling with the other party. Therefore, in the next moment, he directly shot out a dragon-shaped sword chi, which contained the terrifying aura of the great dragon's sword soul. Useless brat. Yu Qinya didn't dodge at all and turned back into raindrops. As long as he was in this state, he could dodge any attack. But this time he was gravely mistaken. This was the dragon-shaped sword chi, which could destroy everything. As expected, when the sword slashed down, Yu Qinya instantly screamed. Blood flowed out from the countless raindrops. Damn it, how is this possible? Yu Qinya retreated crazily. A huge crack appeared on his body. It was terrifying, and even his internal organs flowed out. Damn it, this is impossible. He was completely stunned. His body of true water was broken by the other party. How is this possible? This is an extremely special physique. Lin Xian sneered. What body of true water? You can't even withstand a single blow from me. I've said it before. You're not my opponent at all. Whether it's in the Copper Sparrow Pavilion or outside in the real world. You can't even withstand a single blow. Damn it, this is impossible. Yu Qinya screamed. The countless raindrops on his body began to shine. His body of true water could not only withstand countless attacks, but also had a strong recovery effect. After all, water nourished all things. But the strength of the sword chi and the remnant sword intent on it shocked him. His body of true water could not completely heal in a short period of time. Fortunately, the injury had been stopped. But at this time, Lin Xian's fist came over. It arrived in front of him. With a boom, Yu Qinya was smashed into pieces. Then, Lin Xian attacked forcefully, turning Yu Qinya into a bloody mist. His cold eyes surrounded the bloody mist. He said coldly, "Do you still think you can fight against me now?" Yu Qinya was completely stunned. His heart was trembling violently. What was going on? He screamed. His body healed again, and his face was incomparably pale. Defeated, was he defeated? With just a few simple moves, the other party had beaten him to the point where he could not even fight back. Damn it! It made him feel powerless. It was just like when he was in the Copper Sparrow Pavilion. But that was because his cultivation was suppressed. He could not use his great skills. Now he could use any divine ability without the suppression of his cultivation base. But he was still not a match for his opponent. Could it be that the gap between them was so big? No, I don't believe it. Yu Qinya opened his mouth and spat out a decree. It bloomed with an incomparable light. That was the decree of the Rain Clan. Not only that, he also took out an umbrella. That was a saint artifact. The decree danced in front of him, and the umbrella spun above his head. In an instant, Yu Qinya's whole body was covered in defense. "Kid, I will make you pay the price." As he said that, he formed a seal with his palm. The ancient words on the decree flickered and pushed forward. It was like a seal of heaven and earth that could destroy everything. What a terrifying aura! What kind of rune was that? The earth demon mouse retreated again. The aura made his hair stand on end. Even the little white monkey stopped eating the spirit fruit and began to worry. Lin Xian sneered. He raised his hand and also threw out a decree. The two decrees collided in the air and intertwined, forming countless Tao of heaven and earth. "Damn kid, this is my Rain Clan's item." Seeing this decree, Yu Qinya was instantly angry. It was very obvious that this was the decree of his sister. He snorted, "You are an outsider. You can't display the true power of our decrees." As he said that, he spat out a mouthful of blood. Suddenly, the decree bloomed with an incomparable light. Only the power of our Rain clan's bloodline can display the decree to its fullest. As expected, Lin Xian's decree was suppressed, and it began to tremble violently. Seeing this, Yu Qinya laughed loudly. "Did you see that? You are not my opponent at all. Is that so? You rely too much on decrees. You don't know what is the most important thing in the dark." Lin Xian's voice was cold. The most important thing was not the bloodline or the laws, but the ancient words on it. These are the ancient scripture words. You are an idiot. You can't even comprehend the most important thing. Speaking until here, Lin Xian did not pay attention to him anymore. Instead, he stretched out a finger and drew a few arcs in the sky. What he wrote was the ancient scripture words on the laws. Chapter 3670. If an ordinary person wrote it, it would be useless. However, Lin Xian had comprehended the Tao of heaven and earth and used the laws to write it. Its power was unparalleled. After writing it, the sound of a sword and a dragon's roar could be heard from the ancient character. With a palm strike, the ancient scripture character was incomparably powerful, and it directly knocked away the other party's decree. It even directly pierced through the other party's decree. How could it be like this? Yu Qinya vomited blood. His decree was broken. It was defeated by the other party with a single character. Did you see that? That was the true mystery of the decree. As for you, you only relied on the power of your weapon. You didn't study the essence of it at all. Lin Xian's voice sounded as if he was teaching the other party a lesson. After Yu Qinya heard it, his lungs exploded. Damn it! Was the other party teaching him a lesson? What right did he have? He was going crazy with anger. I relied on the power of my old weapon. So what? Although you broke my decree, I have a saint weapon. As he spoke, he activated the heavenly Luo umbrella above his head. This was a true saint weapon that could store everything. As soon as it appeared, the heavenly Luo umbrella kept floating as if it was going to store the whole world. At the same time, Lin Xian also felt a huge power. Kid, be obediently taken in by my heavenly Luo umbrella and turn into a pool of blood. Yu Qinya laughed sinisterly again. However, Lin Xian shook his head. Humph, you're really an idiot. Do you think you're the only one who has a saint weapon? With a wave of his hand, he directly pulled out the Great Destruction spear to contend with it. Instantly, it blocked the heavenly Luo umbrella. The two saint weapons intertwined. Lin Xian raised his head and looked forward. He walked forward. Damn it! Yu Qinya roared crazily. He didn't expect the other party to have a saint weapon. It was really out of his expectations. However, soon, he revealed a sinister expression. After killing you, the saint weapon will be mine. He charged over and used the Rain clan's great ability, Wind and Rain Sword. A sword of laws appeared in his hand. As he waved it, it brought about a storm of sword shadows. One had to admit that Yu Qinya was very strong, but unfortunately he met Lin Xian. Facing such a terrifying sword shadow, Lin Xian directly activated his spatial sacred art, the Void Escape technique. In an instant, he disappeared completely and reappeared in front of the other party. Then he took out another item, a bead. The moment the pearl appeared, Yu Qinya instantly felt his body stiffen. It was as if a pair of invisible hands had grabbed him. His Wind and Rain sword also stopped instantly. Damn it, what is this thing? His face was filled with terror, and in the next moment he screamed, Mind Fixation Pearl. You actually have the soul-fixing pearl. The only thing that could freeze him in place in an instant was that terrifying saint artifact, the Mind Fixation Pearl. But how could this be? Wasn't the Divine Fixation Pearl in the hands of the seventh floor? How could it be in his hands? Wait, could it be? Suddenly he had a thought. You are the mysterious killer. He was really shocked. Previously, when he was in the ninefold heavens projection, a killer from the 7th floor had appeared and threatened him with the mind fixation pearl. At that time, he was held hostage, his sister was humiliated, and the small saint of his family even knelt down and kowtowed. All of this was done by this kid in front of him. His eyes were burning. Smoke was rising from the top of his head, and his lungs were about to explode. That's right, it's me. Looks like you're not that stupid after all. Do you know that from the beginning to the end, you're not my opponent? What a joke, you dare to fight me. I can only say that you don't know what's good for you. Damn kid, let me go. Let's fight to the death. Fight to the death? Aren't we fighting to the death now? Lin Xian directly slapped him. Half of Yu Qinya's face was shattered. Yu Qinya was knocked to the ground, unable to move at all. The power of the mind fixation pearl was absolutely terrifying. Then Lin Xian began to attack. First, he broke all the bones in his opponent's body. Then he used lightning and fire to torture Yu Qinya. Yu Qinya screamed crazily. He had never experienced such torture in his life. In the end, he was even hit by the eye technique, locking spring and autumn. That kind of torture on his soul made him hover between life and death. In the end, Yu Qinya's eyes were filled with madness. He self-destructed and exploded into a bloody mist. His soul escaped with a small part of the saint's blood. Seeing this scene, the earth demon demonic rat said, "Kid, chase him, don't let him escape." Lin Xian didn't immediately attack. No hurry, he's just a piece of trash. How can he escape from me? Then why didn't you chase him? The earth demon demonic rat was very puzzled. Lin Xian said, "Didn't you ask your relatives to spread this kid's shamelessness throughout the East spirit world? I just want him to know what his reputation is like. I want him to die in pain and humiliation. I want everyone to know the consequences of chasing me." Lin Xian's eyes were filled with extremely terrifying killing intent. Indeed, Yu Qinya was too despicable. He had tried to kill him more than once. If he was weaker, he would have been killed long ago. This time he wouldn't be soft-hearted. Lin Xian raised his head and stared at the falling rain umbrella. That umbrella turned into a stream of light and flew into the distance. Obviously, it was summoned by Yu Qinya. "Let's go and watch a good show." Lin Xian waved his hand. Little White and the earth demon demonic rat came to his side again. They turned into a stream of light and flew into the distance. In the vast mountains, a blood light flew past. It was Yu Qinya. At this moment, his body had recovered, but he was much weaker. This time, he only took 1/3 of his blood with him. Moreover, he had experienced so much torture before. His soul was injured and his body was seriously injured. The current him couldn't even use half of his strength. It was already very good to be able to use 1/10 of his strength. Damn it, this is really too damn. Yu Qinya roared crazily. He really didn't expect that he would fall into the hands of the other party. He must take revenge. However, before he left, he had to recover first. He walked into the depths of the mountain forest. He wanted to find a quiet place to recover. At this moment, he heard 2 tree demons talking. "Have you heard? A despicable and shameless guy came to our East spirit world." "I know, despicable and shameless. I think his name is Yu Qinya." Puff! Yu Qinya spat out a mouthful of blood. Damn it! Did that damn rat really spread the news? He originally thought that the other party was just angry at him. He didn't expect that the other party really did it. "Go to hell!" Yu Qinya waved his hand. 2 laws flew out and killed the 2 tree demons. At the same time, he walked in with a dark face. However, after a few steps, he heard people whispering again. They were all some small insects and plant beasts. At this moment, they were all talking crazily. "Do you know that there is a despicable and shameless Yu Qinya?" Yu Qinya spat out another mouthful of blood. Go to hell!" He attacked and killed all the beasts. At the same time, His whole body trembled. I want to see who dares to speak ill of me. His soul spread out in all directions. The space of millions of miles was completely covered by him. However, in the next moment he spat out 3 liters of blood and fell to the ground. Chapter 3671. It turned out that everyone in the East spirit world was talking about him. Not only the beasts, but even some of the challengers knew about it. For example, the people of Wushuang City knew about it. What despicable and shameless Yuqinya. Was he actually beaten up? This Yuqinya was not that strong. Yeah, and it was said that he was despicable. Furthermore, those monstrous beasts even said that he was an unpardonably evil person. Despicable and shameless? That was a small matter. He was extremely ugly and had attacked his own sister, his benefactor, and had taken his own sister for himself. He had even attacked his own father. In short, he was as shameless as he could be. Aha! Yuqinya looked up at the sky and his body exploded. The next moment he fell to the ground. He was dead. At this moment, the severely injured Yuqinya was dead. She would be angered to death by him. Seeing this, the earth fiend demonic rat's eyes widened. Damn, a level 4 sage was angered to death. This was probably the first time in tens of thousands of years. Lin Xian sneered. Yuqinya deserved it. If he did not provoke Lin Xian, he would not have ended up like this. Ah, Lin Wudi, I will not rest until you are dead. Suddenly, a gray shadow rushed out from Yuqinya's body. It was a spirit. However, it was different from a normal spirit. It was slightly black and had a murderous aura. Not good, a vengeful spirit. The earth fiend demonic rat screamed. I knew this guy would not die completely. Lin Xian sneered. Just a vengeful spirit. What can it do to me? Yuqinya was indeed dead. He did not expect himself to be angered to death. He was indignant. Although his spirit was defeated, it was not completely destroyed. Therefore, after his death, he became a vengeful spirit. Although he was living in another way between heaven and earth, it was completely different from being truly alive before. After becoming a vengeful spirit, it was not easy to cultivate again. Moreover, his strength was greatly reduced. It was not easy for him to be alive. All of this was given to him by Lin Xian. He would not let Lin Xian go. You won't let me off? Lin Xian descended from the sky and looked at the other party. Why won't you let me go? Not good, the other party is coming. Yuqinya's vengeful spirit was scared out of his wits. He was no match for the other party and wanted to escape. Wang. Lin Xian reached out with his giant hand, which blotted out the sky and covered the sun. Like a cage, he directly grabbed the other party. If you wanted to turn into something else, it might be very troublesome, but you chose to turn into a vengeful spirit. I can only say that you are very foolish. Don't worry. Qi is not your final destination. I want you to die in another 10,000 reincarnations. Lin Xian immediately opened Spring Autumn Lock. Vengeful spirits were also a type of soul. They were unable to resist eye techniques, especially one as powerful as Lin Xian's. In the next moment, Yuqinya's vengeful spirit was hit by an eye technique and was pulled into an illusory world. Here, he would receive 10,000 cycles of reincarnation. Every time, he would be mercilessly tortured. It was a fate worse than death. A few seconds later, Yuqinya's vengeful spirit disappeared. Not a single one of his vengeful spirit was left. The truth was that he had gone through tens of thousands of reincarnations and tens of thousands of years of torture. The earth fiend demonic rat swallowed his saliva. Fortunately, he did not provoke such a killing god. Otherwise, his fate would be terrible. Now that Yuqinya was dead, the next step was to deal with the other party's storage room. Among them, the Sky Luo umbrella turned into a ray of light and tried to escape. However, it was blocked by Lin Xian. After an earth-shattering battle, Lin Xian directly subdued the Sky Luo flash. He threw it into the Great Sage Tower and used the starry sky to refine it. At the same time, Lin Xian looked at the black earth again. It was already 90% complete. It would not be long before it completely turned into a saint weapon. This way, he would have more saint weapons in his hands. After thinking for a while, Lin Xian handed the mind-settling pearl to Xiaobai. He said, "Little guy, this is for you in the future." Little White took it over. "What are those big black eyes?" "Wow, that's great. With this thing along with my treasure bowl, I can snatch anything when the time comes." He laughed mischievously. "Let's go. Let's continue on our way." Lin Xian and the other two turned into a ray of light and continued on their way. Although Yu Qinya was dead, the news of him being despicable and shameless continued to spread. In the entire Eastern spirit world, everyone knew about it. The examinees of Peerless City also heard about it. When Di Ling heard the news, his face turned gloomy. What was this Yu Qinya doing? What a piece of trash. I thought I didn't have to do it myself. I didn't expect to have to do it myself. Well, I'll deal with this Lin Wuti personally. As Lin Xian flew, he began to clean up Yu Qinya's storage ring. He had to admit that this young master had a lot of things. Lin Xian couldn't help but smile. Just the pills for cultivation alone, he found thousands of bottles. He took out hundreds of bottles and swallowed all of them. He began to eat them like jelly beans. The ground fiend demonic rat looked on with envy. These were all miraculous elixirs for the cultivation of saints. It was not easy to get one on a normal day. Now that the other party had handed over thousands of them, it was a waste to eat them. His heart was bleeding as he looked at her. However, Lin Xian didn't care. He had gotten these by accident. Furthermore, there was no difference between eating it carefully and eating it in large quantities now, and the cultivation effect was no different. Lin Xian even opened the remaining pills and some cultivation treasures. He threw the small sword realm world in for the great dragon sword soul to absorb. The improvement of the great dragon sword soul was more difficult than the improvement of his cultivation. It required more resources. After a few more days, Lin Xian had already obtained 5 East Spirit Stones. The mission was half completed, which made him even more confident. With the ground demon rat, his speed of collecting East Spirit Stones was much faster than others. Now, they were on the way to collect the 6th East Spirit Stone. But half a day later, the ground demon rat said, "Wait, what's wrong?" Lin Xian asked. He didn't know. He felt uneasy. There seemed to be danger approaching. Lin Xian frowned. He carefully sensed and didn't find any danger. The snow-white little monkey next to him was also puzzled. However, the ground demon rat said, "It should be a characteristic of our race. We have a particularly strong sense of hidden danger." Hearing this, Lin Xian frowned. It seemed that this should be true. Perhaps there really was some unknown danger. Take a detour. Lin Xian didn't want to be nosy. He prepared to take a detour. However, a few hours later, the ground demon rat said again, "Stop! The danger is still there. There's danger again. What's going on? You can't have sensed wrongly, right?" The ground demon rat's expression was extremely solemn. "Impossible. I swear on my life that there is definitely danger. I didn't sense wrongly. Then things were strange. The danger had always been there. In other words, someone had always been following him." Chapter 3672. Who was it? Lin Xian's face was cold as he looked in all directions. He opened his heavenly secret divine eyes. After opening his body, the strange runes inside pulsated twice. It seemed that there was indeed someone nearby, but he couldn't see through it. Who was it? Sneaky, come out. Lin Xian stood in the void and shouted coldly. There was no one around, but Lin Xian was on guard. His heavenly secret, divine eyes, and the earth fiend demonic, Rat told him that there was a problem. Then someone was hiding here. Suddenly, a black spatial crack appeared in the void and spread toward him. This attack was very sudden, and it was right beside Lin Xian. Lin Xian couldn't dodge at all. He could only roar and use his divine body to block it. Boom! He collided with the terrifying spatial crack and was sent flying. The spatial crack was also kicked away by him. Sure enough, someone attacked. Lin Xian stopped, and his face was extremely cold. Who was it? Was it Diling? Or was it Ghostly? After you, Qinya died. These two people were most likely to attack him. Moreover, these two people were very strong. Far stronger than you, Qinya. However, it shouldn't be Diling, because with Diling's arrogant personality, he should come out and kill him directly. Then was it Ghostly? After all, the other party came from the Fiend planet. He was despicable and sinister, so he definitely wouldn't attack him directly. Thinking of this, his expression turned cold. Ghostly, I let you go last time, but you still dare to act recklessly. Since that's the case, you can go to hell to see you, Qinya. Lin Xian's voice was cold, and his eyes swept in all directions. However, no one answered. In the sky an eye appeared. A black eye was erected in the sky. This sudden appearance made people's hair stand on end. Lin Xian frowned and his eyelids twitched. The earth fiend demonic Rat was swept by that gaze, and its heart turned cold, as if its soul had fallen into a bottomless abyss. It was too scary. As a third firmament demon sage, the earth fiend demonic Rat was unable to withstand this aura. How strong was this person? Lin Xian's eyelids were also twitching. This black eye gave him a similarly huge threat. Damn it, just who was it? This aura was too terrifying. Was it really Ghostly? Ghostly had such a terrifying aura. That's not right. Could it be that it wasn't Ghostly? Who was that? If you don't want to talk, then I'll destroy your eyes. Lin Xian roared furiously. He waved his hand, and a sword beam slashed forward. The black eye in front of him pulsated and shot out a black blade of light. It also slashed over and collided with the sword chi. With a loud clang, the two of them were sent flying. The void was shattered. The aura emitted by the black eye was even more terrifying now. Wang. Lin Xian raised his hand and another 5 elemental mountain flew out. His opponent fired out another black blade of light. This time, the 5 elemental mountain was cleaved in half. Lin Xian's figure flickered and dodged the black blade of light. His face was completely gloomy. What a terrifying attack. One had to know that his 5 elemental laws were very strong. It was not a problem for him to beat a 4th firmament saint like Yu Qianshan. However, his opponent could easily cut through his divine ability. This person was very strong. Had he finally met his match? Lin Xian looked solemn. In front of him, the black eye suddenly pulsated. Black ripples spread out and then swept towards Lin Xian. Not good. The earth fiend demonic Rat went crazy. How could they block such a terrifying eye technique attack? Lin Xian's face also changed. He formed a seal with his palms and green ripples appeared in the golden eye. Blue tide birth. It was also a terrifying eye technique. The green ripples and black ripples collided in the sky and were annihilated silently. This silent collision was even more terrifying than the collapse of heaven and earth. If one was not careful, one's soul would be destroyed. After a long time, the two slowly disappeared in the sky. At this time, a voice sounded. Interesting. I didn't expect you to be able to block my ghost eye. Who exactly are you? Lin Xian shouted coldly. Until now, he had not found any trace of the other party. This was a very bad sign. You dared to kill my fellow disciples. I was originally here to kill you and avenge my junior brother. However, I didn't expect you to have such a strange pair of eyes. Very well. Now I'll give you a chance to die happily. Kneel down and dig out your eyes for me. I can let you die happily. Otherwise, I'll let you taste the feeling of living a life worse than death. Humph, if you want my eyes, let's see if you have the ability. Stupid, you're no match for me. A cold voice sounded, but still no one appeared. There was only a vertical black eye floating there, but now it was even more sinister and terrifying. That ghost eye was pulsating. Suddenly, a few black shadows flew out from it and kept growing. As soon as they appeared, they roared into the sky. They were black creatures that looked like black leopards and black wolves, but they were obviously more terrifying. As soon as they appeared, they charged towards Lin Xian crazily. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He raised his hand, and a few sword chi flew out, colliding with the few black beasts. One of them was sent flying, but it did not die immediately. This scene caused Lin Xian to be even more astonished. The ground fiend demonic rat shrieked. Could it be that this eye technique belonged to someone? 100 Eyes Demon Sage. This was a very powerful beast. Its body was a centipede with hundreds of eyes, and the power of each eye was different. It could use many kinds of eye techniques. It grew up in the East Spirit world, but later joined the Demon City. It was very terrifying, far above the lightning beasts. It might be a fifth firmament demon sage. Hearing this, Lin Xian was speechless. It was the people of the Demon City. No wonder. He had killed a lightning beast that was about to reach the Tao. It seemed that the other party's experts were here to take revenge. If the Demon City wants to kill you, you have to kneel down obediently and wait to be killed. How dare you resist and kill my junior brother? Today, you will die without a doubt. The 100 Eyes Demon Sage's voice sounded. Lin Xian sneered. How arrogant, how domineering. But are you sure you can kill me? Useless kid. Although you are strong and have eye techniques, you are still no match for me. I only have to use a ghost eye now, and you can't beat me. Enjoy it slowly. These beasts are spirits that I summoned from the ghost world. Let's see how you can stop them. Was it summoned? Lin Xian frowned. The ground demon rat trembled. Damn it, the rumors were true. It was said that the ghost eye was connected to the ghost Tao world. It seemed that it was true. Really? Summoned? Lin Xian snorted. Do you think I don't know? He formed a seal with his palm and used the phantom spirit curse. Buzz! The void shattered, and a warhorse with a headless rider crossed the space. The moment it appeared, it shocked everyone. Chapter 3673. Kill. Under Lin Xian's control, the Headless Horseman unleashed a massacre in all directions and engaged in a fierce battle with the demonic beasts from the ghost realm. In the end, the Headless Horseman pierced through the monsters with his spear. What the hell? You're just SOO. Lin Xian sneered. The ghost eye on the opposite side twitched. It did not expect Lin Xian to be able to summon, and the power of his summoning was so strong. Buzz! At this moment, the void fluctuated and a second eye appeared. It was a green eye. As soon as it appeared, it flashed with a demonic light. It shot out a green light toward the Headless Horseman. The green light instantly enveloped the Headless Horseman, and the Headless Horseman and his war horse melted quickly. In the end, they turned into a pool of green water and fell to the ground. Haha, do you think I only have one eye? I'm the 100-eyed demon saint. I'm afraid you don't know my name. The cold voice sounded again in the sky. The green eye shot out another light, waved toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian's figure flashed, and he instantly dodged. The void where he was standing was shattered and turned into a pool of green water. What a strong poison! Lin Xian could see that the green eye should be a poisonous eye that could melt everything, a ghost eye that could summon monsters, and a poisonous eye that could melt everything. He had to admit that the 100-eyed demon saint was really strong. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms. He growled, and a golden flame jumped out of the heavenly flame and floated forward. It was the soul fire of the eye technique. Although he did not know where the Headless Horseman's real body was, as long as he destroyed the Headless Horseman's eye, the Headless Horseman would definitely come out. The golden flame floated toward the green eye. At the same time, the black ghost eye was also attacked. The two eyes burned in the raging fire and kept moving. It also emitted a terrifying black mist to resist the green light. What a terrifying soul fire! Your eyes are mine. In the sky, an illusory figure appeared. The enemy had appeared. Lin Xian raised his head and looked. In the next moment, his brows furrowed tightly. It was a tall man with dark red skin and two antennae on his head. Everything seemed normal, but when he looked further down, it was completely different. There were countless eyes on the other party's body, and every single one of them was different from the rest. Just looking at it would make one's scalp go numb. Was he already the 100-eyed demon saint? It was really too scary. Sure enough, with over 100 eyes, if every single one of them possessed a special kind of eye technique, it would be truly terrifying. Furthermore, the opponent's cultivation had actually reached the early stage of the fifth heaven. This cultivation was even stronger than the earth spirit. Wang. At this moment, the 100-eyed demon sage lifted his palm. A blue eye appeared in the middle of his palm. As the blue eyes opened and closed, a few blue light blades shot out, instantly cutting apart the soul fire. The blue light was really too sharp. Then it shot out a few more rays towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian could feel it, and his hair stood on end. He did not dare to take it head-on. His body swayed, and he kept dodging. This is the Heavenly Peak Eye, and it can cut through everything in this world. Can you block it? Wang. As he spoke, over 100 blue lights flew out. Those were blue light blades, and they were really terrifying. Like a rainbow, they broke through the void and surrounded Lin Xian. Kill! Lin Xian roared, and an unparalleled sword intent surged from his body. He pulled out the spear of destruction and swept it in all directions. All the blue light blades were sent flying. In the next moment, his divine body bloomed, and he looked like a god of war. Have a taste of my power. With a roar, the spear of destruction shot out over 10,000 terrifying sword chi of the 5 forms. Whoosh! The 100-eyed demon sage laughed, opened his mouth, and stuck out his tongue. There was an eye on his tongue. Then the eye shone brightly and turned into a vortex, swallowing all the sword chi. Gulp! The 100-eyed demon sage swallowed his saliva and laughed. Your sword chi is not bad. Is it that strong? Lin Xian frowned. The earth fiend demonic rat was scared out of its wits. One had to know that Lin Xian had easily killed the lightning demonic beast and Yu Qinya. But now, all of Lin Xian's attacks were ineffective. It was unbelievable. However, he also knew that this was normal. The white-eyed great sage was a level 5 sage, and he was very powerful. With so many terrifying eye techniques, no one was a match for him. Damn it, why is this demon here? The earth fiend demonic rat was terrified. Kid, what other moves do you have? Show them all. If not, you can go to hell. The 100-eyed demon sage laughed sinisterly. At the same time, he waved his hand, and the heavenly peak eye was shot out again. Lin Xian fought back, and his sword chi was strong. However, the light blades formed by the heavenly peak eye were too terrifying. Some of them still managed to hit him and sent him flying. Lin Xian's blood was boiling, but it did not break. It only left a few faint white marks. He blocked it. The white-eyed great sage was shocked. It seems that your physique is a special physique. How surprising. However, this was more interesting. Hunting geniuses was more interesting. He raised his arm. On his arm, there were many eyes other than the heavenly peak eye on his palm. At this moment, a few of them opened. Suddenly, a purple hand appeared in the eyes and grabbed at him. On the other side, the poisonous eye spewed out a green poisonous mist that could melt everything. At the same time, Ghost Eyes summoned countless ghosts and charged toward Zhangxian. In an instant, all kinds of mystique attacks covered the sky. Lin Xian grabbed the earth fiend demonic rat and put it away. After that, he let out a long howl and charged over. The 5 elemental laws circled around him, turning into sword chi, shields, and all kinds of demonic beasts to fight back. The battle between the two was earth-shattering. However, the 100-eyed demon sage was too strong. He was actually suppressing Lin Xian. Go to hell, brat. 100,000 heavenly peak blades formed a blue heavenly blade and slashed at him. With a clang, it collided with the Great Destruction Spear and sent Lin Xian flying. At the same time, a green light surged out from his back, trying to melt Lin Xian's body. At the critical moment, Lin Xian used the void escape and used his spatial mystique to dodge the attack. With a low roar, Whitey suddenly appeared near the white-eyed great sage. He used the mind fixation pearl, and the entire void froze. The 100-eyed demon sage also felt his body stiffen. Damn monkey, get out of here. The 100-eyed demon sage opened his eyes as if he could tear everything apart. With a whoosh, Whitey used extreme speed to dodge. It was useless. Humph, the mind fixation pearl? You can fix my body, but can you fix my eyes? Chapter 3674. That was indeed the case. The composing orb did not seem to be effective against someone with a strong eye technique. Squeak, look at me. At that instant, Whitey appeared close to the 100-eyed sacred beast again and slapped its head with its furry paw. Following this, the eyes of the 100-eyed sacred beast lost their brilliance. It was dizzy. Even though the 100-eyed sacred beast was extremely terrifying, it was still dizzy under the paw of Whitey. Great chance. Lin Xian let out a roar and went all out. The Spear of Destruction unleashed a terrifying dragon-shaped sword intent. At the same time, he activated his eye technique, Spring and Autumn Lock. He was going to kill it with a single blow. His eye technique was the first to arrive. His opponent's eyes were once again confused as he dragged it into an illusionary world. At the same time, the Spear of Destruction arrived with an unstoppable aura. It was trying to penetrate its opponent. His right eye suddenly turned pitch black. Then a door flew out from his eye. A giant purple door with a ghostly face appeared in front of it like a giant mountain. Bang! The Spear of Destruction collided with the giant purple, ghostly face, resulting in a deafening explosion. The 100-eyed sacred beast was knocked flying. Lin Xian made his move again. He unleashed hundreds of thousands of sword intents, which completely drowned his opponent. Bang, bang, bang. It felt like the end of the world. However, a furious roar could be heard from the front. How dare you set me up? Following this, a giant door was lifted and knocked away the sword intents. The 100-eyed sacred beast walked out from the door again. At this moment, its cold face was slightly twisted. Its right eye was already closed. A line of blood could be seen flowing out from it. It was obvious that the dragon-shaped sword intent was not useless. It seemed like it had injured its opponent's right eye. You've infuriated me. Thoroughly infuriated me. I'm going to torture you to death. The 100-eyed sacred beast roared. Lin Xian's face was as cold as ice. Damn it, the other party only had one eye injured. This was too unbelievable. Moreover, how did the other party escape from his spring and autumn lock? Who was it? Get your ass out here. At this moment, the 100-eyed demon saint roared and waved his right hand. The eye of heavenly wind slashed out endless blue blades, shattering the void in the distance. Pooh! A figure flashed. I'm just passing by to watch the battle. I don't have any ill intentions, the figure said coldly. The 100-eyed beast saint snorted coldly and looked into the distance. There was actually someone else here. Lin Xian was astonished. In the next moment, his expression turned strange. Imperial Mausoleum. That's right, the one who was chased out was Diling. Who would have thought that Diling would actually come and watch the battle in the dark? At this moment, Diling couldn't conceal the shock in his heart. Previously, he had been searching all the way and finally found traces of Lin Xian. However, he did not expect that Lin Xian was fighting with someone else. Moreover, his opponent was so powerful that it made his hair stand on end. The other party's cultivation was actually higher than his. He was a level 5 sage. Furthermore, the other party's eye technique was too terrifying. Even if he were to face him, he did not have the confidence to win. Of course, how could he leave a battle like this? Therefore, he hid in the void and watched. However, he did not expect to be discovered by the other party. Since he had been discovered, he could not stay here any longer. He turned around and wanted to leave. The 100-eyed beast saint said, "Did I say you could leave? Your Excellency, you're being too aggressive." Diling turned his head with a cold expression. "So what if I'm being aggressive? I don't take a mere human seriously." The 100-eyed beast saint sneered. Damn it. Diling's expression turned ugly. Although he was famous in the second astral realm, that was only in the eyes of ordinary families. His reputation was useless against the experts of the sacred city, especially when he was facing such a terrifying beast. Therefore, he did not attack. Instead, he suppressed his anger and said, "I think you've misunderstood. I'm not going to attack you. Actually, that brat and I are enemies. I came here to kill him, but since he offended you, I'll kill him. Since he has offended you, then I don't need to do anything. He's dead meat." Diling's meaning was very simple. He and the 100-eyed beast saint had the same enemy. He thought that the other party would not make things difficult for him. "Diling, it seems that you're shameless enough. How can someone like you be number one?" "How ridiculous. Kid, you're about to die and you still dare to be arrogant in front of me?" Diling did not hold back. "Who said that I'm about to die?" Lin Xian sneered. Although the other party was very strong and had a terrifying eye technique, he also had many trump cards. The Great Dragon Sword Soul, the Great Sage Tower, and the Starry Sky Fire had not been used yet. He looked at Diling with a cold smile. "You look strong and fierce, but you're just bullying the weak and fearing the weak. When you meet someone weaker than you, you're arrogant and act high and mighty. But when you meet someone stronger than you immediately become a coward. You were like that when you faced Wushuang City in the Heaven-Reaching Tower, and now you're facing the Demon City. What kind of genius are you?" Lin Xian's eyes were filled with disdain. A true prodigy should become stronger when faced with a strong opponent and not face any difficulties head-on. How can Diling be like this? Bullying the weak and fearing the strong. Reckless. Diling naturally knew about this. But so what? Staying alive was the most important thing. In his opinion, Lin Xian's character. You're courting death. Okay, stop acting in front of me. Neither of you will be able to escape, the 100-eyed beast saint sneered. I don't know which saint city you're from, but since you've met me, go to hell obediently. Buzz. He shot out his ghost eye to deal with Diling, then looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian's face was cold. Do you really think that you can send me to hell? He roared and activated his divine body. Not only that, he also activated the black Qilin tattoo. Then his eyes shone brightly. He charged towards the 100-eyed beast sage. You want to fight me in close combat? You won't have the chance. The 100-eyed beast sage used various eye techniques. The green eyes could melt everything, the purple hands could cover the sky, and the heavenly wind I could sweep everything. However, when these attacks landed on Lin Xian's body, they caused his divine body to sway uncontrollably. But that was it. Lin Xian's body was extremely strong. He resisted all the attacks and charged towards the hundred-eyed beast sage. He clenched his right fist and punched the sky. The great spear of destruction in his left hand kept dancing. Buzz! The hundred-eyed beast sage kept retreating. He didn't expect his opponent's attack to be so strong that he could ignore so many of his eye techniques. It was really incredible. In an instant, he flew back. It seems that you're not as powerful as I thought. You still have to dodge my attacks. After forcing the other party back, Lin Xian sneered coldly. Chapter 3675. Damn it! Why is this kid's body so uncanny? On the other side, the hundred-eyed beast overlord's expression was also extremely cold. To be honest, he did not expect his opponent's body to be so strong. After taking so many of his eye techniques head-on, he still managed to reach him. Don't be so cocky. Die! He unleashed another terrifying eye technique. Lin Xian kept shuttling back and forth. At the same time, he drew a circle with his hands and used stellar transposition. This time, he used the mysterious power. Stellar transposition could divert all power. Therefore, the eye techniques in front of him were completely messed up. Lin Xian ordered them to kill each other. The eye of the heavenly peak landed on the eye of the poison. The purple phantom eye landed on the eye of the heavenly wind. For a moment, the eye techniques in the air kept rioting. Lin Xian even controlled a few light blades to attack the hundred-eyed beast overlord in the opposite direction. The hundred-eyed beast overlord was startled and quickly dodged. What a strange power. This kid is too uncanny. It seemed that he had to use more terrifying trump cards. The hundred eyes on his body flickered with demonic light. It was obvious that he was going to use a great skill. However, at that moment, a loud explosion came from the distance. Then, a silver light flashed extremely far away, displaying an unparalleled vision of heaven and earth. Oh no, that thing! The hundred-eyed beast overlord's expression changed instantly. He roared, "Kid, I'll spare your life for now. I'll kill you myself in the future." Then his figure flickered, and he quickly flew into the distance. Lin Xian harumphed coldly and did not attack again. He also looked into the distance. There was a silver immortal light there. He did not know what had happened, but if it could attract someone like the hundred-eyed beast overlord, it was obvious that something incredible had happened. He finally left. On the other side, Ling also let out a sigh of relief. A single ghost eye was enough to make him feel as if he was facing a great enemy. Fortunately, the other party had left. He turned his head and stared at Lin Xian with a cold smile on his face. "Now, it's time to settle our grudge. I didn't expect you to be so lucky. First, you escaped from Yu Chenya's pursuit, and now you can escape from such a terrifying beast. However, you still met me. I will kill you with my own hands. Your luck has come to an end." Ling walked over, his body emitting a terrifying killing intent. Lin Xian sneered. "Good luck, you idiot. Do you still think I'm lucky?" Well, it was time to put an end to it. Golden light shot out from his eyes. Like a divine blade, he charged forward. Damn it! To think that the other party's eye technique would be so powerful. In the next moment, Ling let out a roar, and countless runes appeared on his body. A jade pendant floated up and down around his neck, forming a powerful defense. "You think I don't have a weapon. How can I defend against soul attacks?" He snorted coldly. "Previously, I was afraid of the hundred-eyed demon saint because he was powerful. This does not mean that I am afraid of you." At this point, he roared and formed a seal with his palms. Immediately, with a loud boom, 10,000 streaks of thunder rang out. The entire sky drop was boiling. Now go to hell. It was clear that the Imperial Mausoleum had unleashed an extremely powerful divine ability. Buzz! A green light flew out from his back. It was like thousands of heavenly swords carrying a mysterious aura. Lin Xian roared angrily and charged forward. His fists opened and closed, sweeping in all directions. The Great Destruction spear shot out terrifying sword chi one after another. The two of them fought in the sky. It was incomparable. Everything around them was torn to pieces. The sky fell and the earth cracked. The light on Lin Xian's body became stronger and stronger. Buzz. He directly activated his divine body and black Qilin tattoo. It was obvious that he did not intend to hold back against Diling. Diling originally thought that he could quickly finish off his opponent, but he did not expect that after a few moves his arm would be numb. His entire body trembled. Damn it, the other party was too strong. He would not allow such a person to exist. He roared, and the power in his body kept erupting, illuminating the entire sky. At this moment, Diling's aura rose infinitely. Buzz, buzz, buzz! The laws on his body flickered nonstop, forming a large square seal that smashed over fiercely. Wherever the large seal passed, black holes would appear in the void. Nothing could stop it. Lin Xian used the Great Destruction spear to fight against it, and the two of them fought until the sky fell and the earth cracked. Buzz! Suddenly, the large seal trembled violently, and at an unbelievable angle. It flew towards Diling. Diling was sent flying with a single strike. Half of Diling's body was completely shattered. His black hair fluttered, and he roared crazily, his eyes flickering with a scarlet light. Damn it, he was injured. He was actually injured by his own weapon. What was going on? His eyes were emitting a terrifying light, and Lin Xian snorted coldly. Naturally, he used the stellar transposition to attack unexpectedly. After a successful attack, he charged forward. The 5 elemental laws surrounded his body, forming terrifying 5 elemental mountains that fell from the sky. On the other side, the dragon-shaped sword Qi kept roaring. All kinds of terrifying divine powers were crazily blasted forward. Diling kept retreating. At the same time, he opened his mouth and spat out a green moon wheel. It flickered above his head, blocking the divine powers. The green moon wheel, it was a sacred artifact. It shone with thousands of rays of light, protecting Diling. Diling's palm kept opening and closing. Nirvana divine palm. The palm was unparalleled. The palm carried the light of nirvana. Wherever it passed, it seemed to be able to turn the entire world into death. This strange scene caused all the surrounding demonic beasts to prostrate themselves on the ground. Brat, go to hell. This palm is an extremely terrifying, forbidden divine ability. He had learned it from the corpse of an ancient sage. It was extremely powerful. It carried the aura of death. Lin Xian was surprised, but soon he sneered. Competing with him in terms of power? Diling was still far from it. One had to know that he had absorbed the power of the death mist, and he cultivated the Tai Chi art. With a flash, Lin Xian activated the Tai Chi art. The Tai Chi art in his body rotated, and he immediately slapped out. It was a pitch-black palm. It was like thick ink that filled the sky. It collided with the Nirvana divine palm. You're courting death. How dare you resist me? Go to hell now. Diling sneered. Even a 5th heaven sage would have to retreat when facing his divine powers, let alone his opponent. However, he soon frowned, and his face became extremely ugly, because he realized that his Nirvana divine palm could not hurt his opponent at all. Instead, he felt the terror of death engulfing him, the power of death. How could it be? Diling's face was extremely ugly. How did his opponent have such a power of death? It was unbelievable. Chapter 3676. One had to know that he could use the Nirvana divine palm because he had an ancient coffin in his body. That was why he could block the terrifying power of Nirvana. But what about his opponent? Could it be that he also had a corpse in his body? Or else, How could his opponent withstand the power of death? He was really going crazy. Although it was just a few simple exchanges, he was at a disadvantage which he couldn't accept. Lin Xian sneered. He was going all out now. He had used all of his great abilities. How could his opponent withstand it? Kill him. On the other side, Di Ling struck out a few more times. Nirvana Divine Palm. At the same time, he activated the green moon wheel above his head. That was a sacred artifact. Under Di Ling's activation, it bloomed with an incomparable green light that dyed the sky red. With a buzz, it turned into a stream of light that cut through the sky and slashed towards Lin Xian. The sky was split into two halves. Clang! Lin Xian used the great spear of destruction and smashed over like a heavenly hammer. It hit the green moon wheel hard and made a sonorous sound. The two sacred artifacts clashed in the air. Buzz! At this moment, Di Ling waved his hand again and a flying sword rushed out. That flying sword was only the size of a palm, but it flickered with an incomparable light. The monstrous killing intent was terrifying. The flying sword streaked across the sky, causing the mountains and rivers to change color and the sun and moon to dim. Let's see how you're going to fight this time. Di Ling sneered. His opponent definitely couldn't block two sacred artifacts. Indeed, it was too fast. The flying sword arrived in front of Lin Xian in an instant and stabbed towards his heart. Even if this attack couldn't kill him, it could severely injure him. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He roared, and the black Qilin tattoo covered his body. At the same time, he waved his fist and blocked the flying sword. He was courting death. Di Ling sneered when he saw this. In the next moment, there was an earth-shattering collision in front of him. Lin Xian was blasted away and crashed into countless mountains. He fell to the ground. Humph, let's see how you're going to die. Di Ling put his hands behind his back and sneered as he walked forward. With a few steps, he arrived in the sky and looked down. In his imagination, Lin Xian's heart was pierced through by the flying sword and nailed to the ground. He must be seriously injured. But soon he was able to see through the fog and clearly see the scene below. How could this be? Di Ling screamed and almost fell from the sky. He saw that on the ground below a figure stood up. The figure's body was still glowing, and the black Qilin tattoo was vivid and lifelike. In his left hand, there was a flying sword that looked like a dragon's head. He wasn't injured, but he was caught by the other party. Di Ling was going crazy. That was a saint tool. Even he didn't dare to take it head-on. So what did Su Ke have to contend with it? Would the other party dare to take a saint artifact with his bare hands? What kind of physique was this? Damn it. D. Mausoleum formed a hand seal, wanting to activate the flying sword. The flying sword kept trembling like a fish, trying to break free. The sword light on its body illuminated the 9 heavens and 10 earths. It flew out from his fingertips and shone so brightly that people couldn't open their eyes. Lin Xian's arm also began to tremble, but in the next moment he threw it forward. At the same time, he used stellar transposition. The flying sword drew an arc in the air and slashed at Di Ling's neck. Di Ling was shocked. He couldn't control himself. A bloody mark appeared on his neck, and more than half of his hair was cut off. All the hair on his body stood on end. If he had been a second slower, his head would have been cut off. Damn it, he really deserved to die. He had been completely suppressed after several attacks. Even after taking out 2 saint weapons, he still wasn't the other party's match. The proud him couldn't accept this at all. I don't believe it. With a roar, a green light appeared in Di Ling's eyes. In the next moment, an extremely terrifying power bloomed. It spread out from his body, and he opened his mouth to spit out a green coffin. The moment the coffin appeared, it became as large as a bronze coffin. It floated in the air and emitted an incomparably cold aura. It was as if a peerless demon king had awakened. Lin Xian's expression also changed. The green snake's coffin was a great threat to him. Therefore, He wouldn't allow the other party to appear. With a furious roar, the great dragon sword soul within Zhang Xian's body burst forth. Countless sword chi of the dragon roar surged out, morphing into a true dragon that charged forward. They tore the sky apart, wanting to completely destroy. Di Ling kept dodging. At the same time, he shouted and slammed his palm on the bronze coffin. Immediately, the cyan coffin began to rumble. The bronze coffin opened, and a corpse stood up from inside. The moment the corpse appeared, the sky started to crumble. Even Lin Xian felt his hair stand on end. It was a terrifying corpse. It was definitely a terrifying saint. Not good, I have to attack. He shot out millions of sword chi, slashing forward. Buzz! The ancient corpse waved its hand, and millions of sword chi were caught in its hand, forming a light ball. It was too terrifying. This ancient corpse was very dangerous. It should be Di Ling's greatest trump card. Lin Xian's face darkened. He didn't act rashly. Di Ling looked up to the sky and laughed. Ha 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 ha, kid, no matter how strong you are, can you defeat my trump card? His face was ferocious. He had to torture Lin Xian to death to vent his hatred. Lin Xian said coldly, no matter how strong you are, it's the corpse that's strong. It's not your strength. What's there to be arrogant about? But this corpse is mine. It listens to my command. Of course, this is part of my strength. Kid, don't be so stubborn. Trump cards are also a kind of strength. I have them and you don't. So you're dead. Go and kill him. Di Ling said coldly. The corpse's eyes shone with a cold light. It pushed its hand, and millions of sword chi formed a light ball and blasted it out. Instantly, it flew towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt his hair stand on end. His body swayed, and he instantly dodged. Millions of sword chi exploded together, piercing through the sky. Lin Xian activated the Qilin Phantom and used the Great Destruction Spear. He killed a path out of the millions of sword chi. His face was incomparably cold. Di Ling sneered. Did you see that? You can't block a casual attack. Next, you'll definitely die. The ancient saint corpse attacked again. It waved its withered claws gently, and the sky fell and the earth cracked. In an instant, Lin Xian was enveloped. Buzz! Lin Xian waved the Great Destruction Spear and hit the corpse. It made a clanging sound, but it didn't penetrate the corpse at all. The palm paused for a moment, and then it fell mercilessly. Lin Xian felt a huge pressure. He kept retreating, and he spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. Looking at the other party's appearance, it was a corpse. Then, the Tai Chi art couldn't take away the other party's life. Techniques were useless against a dead person. Moreover, Di Ling was on full defense now. It would be difficult to hurt the other party with techniques. Chapter 3677. Stellar Transposition. Lin Xian shouted, and the force was used on the ancient corpse's hand. The ancient corpse's palm deviated from its direction and fell beside him with a bang. The airwave caused by the impact sent him flying. Lin Xian's blood and qi churned, and blood flowed from the corner of his mouth again. It was terrifying. Just the aftermath of the energy was enough to injure him. If this palm hit him, even with his physique, he would be injured. Haha, kid, now you know how powerful I am. You want to contend against me with the likes of you? Seeing this scene, Di Ling looked up to the sky and laughed, as if victory was in his hands. You won the first place in the first 2 rounds because there was a limit. Otherwise, do you think you can be so arrogant in front of me? I can easily trample you under my feet. Di Ling said again. At the same time, the ancient corpse threw a few more palms, and Lin Xian kept dodging. If he didn't have many divine abilities, it would be difficult for him to resist. In the end, Lin Xian was angry. Do you think you're the only one with a trump card? You're still far from being able to compare trump cards. Kid, are you still so stubborn when you're about to die? If you really do have a trump card, then show it to me and let me have a look. Let me tell you, the origin of this corpse is mysterious, and it's not something you can imagine. Even if you take out a sacred weapon, you can't suppress him. Indeed, Diling had infinite confidence. Previously in the heaven-reaching tower, he could compete with a minor saint with the ancient corpse. He didn't believe that the other party could compete with such an existence. You'll see. Lin Xian didn't say anything, but he formed a seal with his palm. Come out. He activated the great dragon, Sword Soul. With a roar, it flew out from his body, turned into a dragon-shaped sword light and slashed out. This sword strike was earth-shattering, and everything in the world lost its brilliance. What is this? Diling was completely frozen in place, as if he was struck by lightning. This power was too terrifying, and he couldn't react at all. The ancient corpse also roared anxiously and stood out from the coffin. It wanted to fight back. However, the sword light was too fast, and it slashed on its body. With a bang, it flew out with the coffin. Ah! The ancient corpse roared towards the sky, its voice incomparably miserable. Not good. Diling came back to his senses and looked behind him. In the next moment, his face turned pale, and he almost fell to the ground. Injured. How could this be? The ancient saint's corpse was actually injured. A crack had appeared on its body, almost splitting it in half. Diling couldn't believe it. He felt as if he was dreaming. He knew very well just how terrifying the corpse of an ancient sage was. Even if it were to fight with a minor god, it wouldn't be a problem at all. What did this mean? This meant that there was a minor saint living in his body. That was why he dared to peek at 100 Eyes Sage's battle. After all, he had the ancient sage corpse with him, so there was no need for him to fear the other party. But now his greatest support was actually injured. Moreover, he was injured by a sword shadow. This was truly inconceivable. What kind of sword was that? He stared at the light and realized that it was an ancient green sword. It was like a real dragon had transformed into a sword light. What the hell was that? He was dumbfounded. Just as he was in a daze, the green dragon sword attacked again. Another sword strike directly cut off one of the ancient corpse's arms. The ancient saint's corpse roared towards the sky. Diling was scared out of his wits and didn't dare to be careless anymore. Come back! With a wave of his hand, the ancient saint's corpse entered the bronze coffin. With a bang, the coffin closed. Then he merged with the bronze coffin and quickly fled into the distance. Diling, the insufferably arrogant Diling, directly ran away. Moreover, he ran away in fear. If anyone else saw this scene, they would probably be scared out of their wits. Diling was the hope of winning the championship, but he still lost to Lin Xian in a battle without any restrictions. He ran quite fast. Lin Xian snorted coldly, his face gloomy. He withdrew the great dragon sword soul and didn't chase after him. Diling was too fast. He probably couldn't catch up even if he chased after him. If he chased him for 8 to 10 days, it wouldn't be worth it. It was better to get first place in the 3rd round first. He didn't forget that the reward for first place was a leaf of enlightenment tea. This leaf had an incomparable effect on his comprehension of the great Tao of heaven and earth. He had to recover first. The previous battle had injured him. After all, whether it was the ancient saint's corpse or the white-eyed ancient saint, they both posed a great threat to him. As for Diling, if he didn't have the ancient saint's corpse, it would be very easy for him to kill him. With a sway of his body, he directly went tens of thousands of meters underground and set up a formation to recover. He had a lot of natural resources. Thus, he was able to recover from his injuries in just half a day. However, he didn't come out. Instead, he frowned and began to recall the battle. There was nothing to say about the battle with the ancient saint's corpse. That was the corpse of an ancient saint. Even if it was dead, it was still very powerful. However, the battle with the 100-eyed ancient saint had benefited him greatly. That was because he rarely fought with people with techniques. Even if he did, their eye techniques were inferior to his. Today, however, he had persevered until he obtained a powerful eye technique. The 100-eyed beast saint had too many eyes, and his eye technique was unpredictable. Although the power of each eye technique was not as strong as the heavenly secret divine eyes, it was still very powerful. Although its individual eye technique was inferior to the heavenly secret divine eye, with so many of them added together, its power surpassed the heavenly secret divine eye. That was really surprising, especially the eye of the heavenly wind. The blue light blade was too powerful. In addition, the ancient saint's right eye was able to create a giant purple, ghost-faced door. Its defense was so strong that he was shocked. His dragon-shaped sword intent was unable to completely break it. It only injured the ancient saint's opponent. Furthermore, the ancient saint's other eyes had yet to be used. What kind of remarkable ability did they have? I wonder if my heavenly secret god eyes are able to perform such a divine ability. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He also had a strong defense. He also had a remarkable ability to summon heroic spirits. In fact, he also had powerful attacks, but they were all scattered. If he could fuse them into his eyes, he would be able to unleash them. When the time came, he would be able to kill the enemy without any surprise. My heavenly secret divine eyes should be very powerful and have unparalleled potential. Besides, I also have the dragon sword spirit. If I combine these two, will I be able to evolve the ancient saint's ability? Lin Xian had an idea. His heavenly secret divine eyes were extremely mysterious. The dragon sword spirit could evolve anything. He was looking forward to the combination of the two. Following this, he began to try. When the power of the dragon sword spirit merged with his eyes, Lin Xian could feel a mysterious aura intertwining. It worked. He was overjoyed, as he knew that his idea was very likely to be correct. Of course, he did not dare to act recklessly. After all, he had never heard of anyone doing this before. Lin Xian was trying to cross the river by feeling his way. Chapter 3678. After trying it out, Lin Xian used the heavenly secret godly eyes and the dragon sword spirit to produce some golden light blades. This was an imitation of the eye of the heavenly peak. These light blades were also unparalleled and carried an indomitable aura. Then he combined it with the spirit summoning curse and used his eye technique to summon some powerful, heroic spirits. He even combined the Qilin tattoo, the eye technique, and the dragon sword spirit to form a black Qilin shield. It was indeed effective. Lin Xian tried it a few times and found that the initial effect was very satisfactory. This eye technique was created by me. It does not completely belong to the heavenly secret prodigy. I have to give it a new name. Lin Xian thought for a while, and his lips curled into a smile. Evolving all things. Let's call it the eyes of all changes. Great. With the eyes of all changes, Lin Xian would be able to handle the 100-eyed demonic sage more easily in the future. In fact, he was eager to fight the 100-eyed demon saint again. He wanted to dig out more eye techniques. With a shift of his figure, he rushed out and looked around. The next moment, he was surprised to see that the silver light was still there. As expected, he saw that the silver light had dimmed in the distance, but it had not completely dissipated. It was the silver light that had lured the 100-eyed demonic sage away. What exactly was it? Let's take a look. Lin Xian's figure flickered and flew toward the silver light. Above a mountain peak, multicolored light shot out in endless streaks. The great Tao was useless. A few giant creatures occupying this place. One of them was a majestic golden lion with a towering demonic aura. Obviously, it was a powerful beast. On the other side, there was a giant purple elephant with 3 heads and tusks. It had a pair of ferocious wings. On top of a mountain next to it, there was another giant creature. It was a giant python. It was so huge that its body covered the mountain. Its giant head was bigger than a valley. Its aura was no weaker than the other two. The three great beasts were circling in the silver light. And opposite the three great demons stood a young girl with purple hair. This purple-haired girl was very beautiful. It could even be said that she was extremely beautiful and had an ethereal temperament. Such a beautiful girl was fearless in the face of three monstrous demons. She even had a faint smile on her face. She played with her hair with one hand and said indifferently, "Are the three of you really going to make a move on me? You have to think about the consequences. Junior, don't go too far. We've been guarding this silver fir Xian wood for thousands of years. Now that it's matured, do you think you can just pluck it away?" The golden lion said coldly, its voice shaking the 9 heavens, "Leave your things behind and leave quickly. We won't hurt you." On the other side, the 3 giant elephants had the same cold voice. The giant python coiled around the mountain peak let out a ferocious roar. "If you dare to spout any more nonsense, I'll eat you. If you dared to make a move, you would have done so long ago. Do you still need to threaten me?" The purple-haired girl's lips curled up in disdain. "I'm going to take it. Even if you don't want to, you have to. I advise you to leave obediently. You can even form a good karma. Who knows? You might need my help in the future." As she spoke, she looked around and looked to the side. "You big centipede, hurry up and leave." "What? Do you want to make a move on me?" "Humph." Not far away, a figure snorted coldly. It was the 100-eyed demon saint. His true form was indeed a centipede. The 100-eyed demon saint was usually an unruly person, but he did not dare to make a move in front of the purple-haired girl. "You can take it, but you can't take it completely. Everyone has a share. You have to give me a share." The 100-eyed demon saint said coldly, "Give you a share? You, stinky centipede, do you think I'm afraid of you? Do you think I'm afraid of you?" The purple-haired girl was not afraid of the powerful 100-eyed demon saint. "If that's the case, don't blame me for making a move." The 100 eyes on the 100-eyed demon saint's body emitted a demonic light. It was obvious that he could not take it anymore. "It's not like we haven't fought before. Are you a match for me?" The purple-haired girl shook her head slightly. "It won't do you any good if we continue fighting." As she spoke, she suddenly raised her eyebrows and revealed a look of surprise. Someone else had come. Not only her, but the 100-eyed demon saint also turned his head to look. The 3 demons were also stunned. "Is there someone else who doesn't know what's good for him and dares to come? It's him, that brat." The 100-eyed demon saint suddenly raised his disdain. What an idiot. He naturally saw that the person who came was Lin Xian through his eye technique. Buzz! One of the 3 giant elephants roared to the sky, and the world spun around with its trunk. In the distance, Lin Xian came nearby and also felt a few powerful auras. He carefully prepared to hide. But at this moment, he realized that the wind and clouds around him changed, and the world was turned upside down. "Oh no, I've been discovered." Before he could do anything, he was directly swept over. In the next moment, he arrived nearby and was wrapped in a silver light. As soon as he appeared, his body swayed, but he quickly stabilized himself. Demon saints, and there were 3 of them. What a powerful demon aura. Lin Xian held his breath. Then he realized that there was another human girl. The 100-eyed demon saint was also here. "Reckless brat, is this a place where you can come?" The 100-eyed demon saint had a look of disdain. The giant python in front of him snorted coldly. Since he was an ant, he should die. He realized that Lin Xian's cultivation was only at the 3rd firmament. Even the purple-haired girl frowned slightly. Would someone with such a cultivation dare to come here? Buzz! The giant python opened its mouth and swept over like a vortex, completely enveloping the world. Lin Xian felt a powerful force trying to drag him into the giant python. He snorted coldly, and his body shone brightly as he threw out a punch. The sky fell and the earth cracked. The force was immediately dispersed by him. I saw the phenomenon and came to take a look. If I'm disturbing you, I'll leave. Why do you have to eat me as soon as you come? Lin Xian said coldly. This scene stunned the three demons. The purple-haired girl also covered her mouth and chuckled. Interesting. You're only at the third firmament, but your strength is so strong. You're very surprising. Lin Xian glanced at her and smiled. The fairy was even more impressive. She was able to fight against 3 greater demons by herself without any fear. And from the looks of it, you must have obtained a treasure. The aura on your body is too strong. You have sharp eyes. Why? Do you want to steal my treasure too? The purple-haired girl suddenly smiled. Her smile made the world lose its color. Even Lin Xian was stunned. What a beautiful girl. Soon he came back to his senses. Forget it. Since the treasure has an owner, why would I interfere? Goodbye. He turned and left. You think you can come and go as you please? Where do you think you are? The golden lion said coldly. The golden light on his body was like the sun with an incomparable aura. Chapter 3679. What do you want then? Lin Xian turned his head around and faced the few great demons. He was still fearless. Lin Xian's attitude completely angered the 3 great beasts. The purple-haired girl was not afraid of them because of her extraordinary status. Even they had to be wary of her. But this human boy, what right did he have? How dare a mere 3rd heaven sage be so arrogant in front of them? He was courting death. The 3 great demons were enraged. They wanted to attack, their holy might overflowing into the sky. The 100-eyed beast sage said, Why do you 3 have to deal with such a piece of trash? I'll do it. He knew the 3 great beasts. After all, he was a native of the East Spirit Realm and went to the 1,000-beast city later. The 3 great beasts nodded. The 100-eyes demonic saint was their junior. It would be best if the 100-eyes demonic saint took action. The 3 of them should think about how to deal with the purple-haired girl. Kid, I spared your life last time. How dare you come here again? If that's the case, go to hell. I said your eye is mine. The 100-eyed beast sage walked over and stared at Lin Xian. You spared my life? How dare you say that? You didn't get the upper hand last time. Lin Xian snorted in disdain. The 100-eyed beast sage gritted his teeth at the mention of this. Indeed, he had used several eye techniques, but failed to do anything to Lin Xian. Instead, he injured his right eye. If this were to spread, he would lose face. Damn kid, go to hell. The eye of heavenly wind twitched and turned into a blue light. The ghost eye spread and summoned ghosts. The other eye techniques were also used. Divine abilities that blotted out the sky and covered the earth enveloped Lin Xian. The 3 great beasts nodded slightly. Not bad. The 100-eyed beast sage has grown to this level. More importantly, he was less than 2,000 years old. He had a bright future. Is this kid okay? The purple-haired girl was confused. Can this human boy block so many eye techniques? Buzz. Lin Xian did not dodge at all in the face of such a terrifying eye technique attack. On the contrary, his lips curled into a sneer. Forming a series of hand seals, a golden light flickered in his eyes. Divine eyes, myriad transformation eyes. The light continued to revolve as the power of the great dragon sword spirit poured into his eyes. A golden light blade flew out and collided with Tianfeng Yan's light blade. The 2 collided in the sky. On the other side, Lin Xian's left eye spun and opened. A golden vortex appeared, and a horse carrying a headless rider rushed out. This time, the headless eccentric warrior's body shone with golden light, and 2 pairs of wings grew out of its back. It carried the aura of the Tao of Dragons. This was an enhanced version of the headless horseman. Its power was even more terrifying than before. As soon as he appeared, his spear trembled violently, sending the surrounding specters flying. His powerful strength caused everyone's expressions to change. He actually blocked it. That was too inconceivable. The three great demons were astonished. They knew how powerful the 100-eyed demon overlord's eye technique was. But now, this human youth in the third heaven was able to block it. There was a difference of 2 heavens between them. How did he do it? The purple-haired girl's face was also filled with shock. Interesting. Since that's the case, I won't be polite. Huh. She shouted and wanted to leave. You want to leave? Stay. The 3 great demons were furious and frantically tried to stop her. I'm not afraid of you. The purple-haired girl waved her hand and shot out a 7-colored light to resist. The battle between the 2 broke out, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. On the other side, Lin Xian blocked the 100-eyed demon overlord's attack. The 100-eyed demon overlord was extremely shocked. How could it be? It had only been a few days since they last met. How could his eye technique have improved to such a level? Furthermore, why did the man's move look so similar to his eye technique? He could use many eye techniques because he had many eyes. His opponent only had 1 pair of eyes. How could he use so many eye techniques? That was great. Lin Xian was very pleased with the fact that his attack was much stronger than before. He said, "What else do you have? Show me. If you don't have any, I'm going to fight back." Damned kid, don't be so arrogant. The 100-eyed demon overlord was completely enraged. A 3rd heaven ant dared to provoke him. He could not tolerate it. With a roar, a raging fire appeared in his left eye and floated out. Go to hell. As soon as the fire appeared, the heavens and the earth shook violently. The void in the sky was also ignited. I don't believe that I can't burn you to death. This was not an ordinary fire. It was the triple true fire, which was extremely powerful. Facing this kind of fire, even a 5th heaven saint would not dare to try it, let alone a 3rd heaven saint. Although his opponent's eye technique was strange, his defense was much weaker than his. He would definitely not be able to withstand the triple true fire. Fire? Lin Xian laughed. Although he could feel the power of the fire, he was not afraid. Instead, he went up to meet it. His body was bathed in the fire. Come on. What the 9-yang divine body needed the most was all kinds of strange flames. These flames could temper his body and make his physique 1 step closer. Is this kid crazy? The 100-eyed demon overlord thought that his opponent was an idiot who came to die. However, after a while, he realized that it was not the case. His opponent seemed to be using his triple true fire to cultivate. Damn it. What does he think I am? A sparring machine? Burn. The eye technique in his left eye rotated, and the triple true fire increased. It covered the sky and earth, forming a furnace that wanted to refine Lin Xian completely. Lin Xian's divine body glowed as he absorbed and used this power. Is he angry? He felt his divine body tremble slightly. Some parts of his body even cracked and blood flowed out. However, he did not care. It was good. He could use this opportunity to break through his divine body. Lin Xian's eyes glowed. He formed a seal with his palms and absorbed with all his strength. At the same time, he used all kinds of eye techniques to resist the 100-eyed demon overlord's attack. The 100-eyed demon overlord was so angry that he shouted, "Damn kid, you have completely angered me." The vertical eye between his eyebrows suddenly trembled. The sound of thunder could be heard. Lin Xian frowned. He did not continue to refine his body. Instead, he retreated from the triple true fire as if he was facing a great enemy. That eye was so terrifying. Just a twitch of it made his hair stand on end. Kid, you have completely angered me. I will kill you. The 100-eyed demon overlord's expression was ferocious. Although he still had many eye techniques, he did not plan to use them. He wanted to use the most powerful one to kill his opponent. The eye between his eyebrows was very powerful. Once it appeared, a fifth heaven saint would not be his opponent. It could even threaten a small saint. He did not believe that his opponent could block it this time. Chapter 3680. No, I can't let him open his eyes. Lin Xian also felt his hair stand on end. He flipped his hand, and the killer Saint Peak appeared in his hand. Go, Lin Xian ordered. The killer Saint Peak turned into a streak of golden light and charged forward. Ah! A miserable cry was heard. Damn it! How dare you hurt me? Although the 100-eyed demon sage's eye was terrifying, it would still take some time for it to open. At this moment, before he could open his eyes, his left eye had been attacked. A streak of golden light pierced his eye. Fortunately, he had closed his eye at the critical moment, but it still pierced his eye a little. He felt a piercing pain. What is that? He kept attacking with the eye of heavenly wind and sent the golden light flying. He saw that it was a bee. Damn it! The 100-eyed demon sage was furious. He had been ambushed. He felt a burning pain in his left eye and could not open it at all. Blood even flowed out. I'm injured. I'm injured again. His right eye had been injured by his opponent's sword chi, and now his left eye was injured as well. Both eyes were closed and bleeding. If he did not have hundreds of eyes, he would have been blinded by his opponent. Damn you, kid. Just you wait. I won't let you go. The 100-eyed demon sage roared and charged into the sky. Humph, Lin Xian snorted. The next time we meet, it won't be as simple as an eye injury. He recalled the killer Saint Peak. Then, Lin Xian turned and looked into the distance. The battle in the distance was very fierce. The three monsters attacked, trying to stop the purple-haired woman. The purple-haired woman's strength was surprisingly strong. She could still handle the three monsters with ease. Although she did not attack aggressively, Lin Xian was greatly surprised by her body technique. What a strange body technique. She can dodge so many attacks. Who is this woman? He was really curious. At this moment, the giant python could not stand it anymore. It roared and bit at the purple-haired woman as if it could swallow the sky. The golden lion and the three giant elephants made their moves too, unleashing their peerless martial arts. I won't play with you anymore, the purple-haired woman yelled. A pair of almost transparent wings appeared on her back. She flapped them gently and tore the void apart. In the next moment, she appeared in front of Lin Xian. Go. She grabbed Lin Xian with one hand and flapped the wings on her back again. Then she disappeared. By the time Lin Xian came back to his senses, he realized that she had already left the mountain range. The surrounding water gurgled. Birds chirped and flowers bloomed. The figures of the three great demons had long disappeared. The purple-haired woman was the purple-haired woman. Hey, what are you looking at? Are you stunned? How are you going to repay your savior? The purple-haired woman Lin Xian came back to his senses. This woman was too fast. TSS speed space. Thank you, fairy, for your help. How should I address you? Xians. Brat, are you trying to trick me? However, your strength is not bad, and you are qualified to know my name. My name is Li Hongxiu. Is she from the Li family? Lin Xian was surprised. He had never heard of such a powerful Li family. Moreover, he had a feeling that this woman was not human. However, it was their first time meeting, so he did not ask too much. Which family are you from? I think you're quite strong. You dared to fight against the 100-eyed demon overlord at level 3. My name is Lin Wudi. Lin Wudi? What an annoying name. Li Hongxiu's eyes widened. You're too arrogant. How dare you call yourself Wudi? That's not your real name, is it? Lin Xian smiled. Li Hongxiu, that's not your real name, is it? That's right, Li Hongxiu is the name I gave myself. Lin Wudi is also the name I gave myself. You're getting more and more to my liking. Li Hongxiu smiled. In the following conversation, Lin Xian briefly explained his mission and situation. At the same time, he learned that Li Hongxiu was not a disciple of the sacred city. She was not here to participate in the trial. She was bored and came here to have fun. Lin Xian's mouth twitched. She's really bold to have fun in such a dangerous place. You can continue to have fun. I don't have time to play with you. I have to find the East Spirit Stone. Lin Xian calculated the time and decided to leave quickly. The East Spirit Stone? Since I have nothing to do, why don't I accompany you? Then, the two of them went on their way. On the other side, Ling's face was extremely gloomy. He had escaped from Lin Xian and arrived at a safe place. First, he healed his injuries. Then, when he spat out the bronze coffin again and saw the ancient corpse inside, his handsome face became extremely distorted. The sword marks on the ancient corpse had not disappeared. Damn it! He could only use all his strength to perform the technique to repair it. He had no choice. This was his biggest reliance. He could not let anything happen to it. Ling's physique was very special. It could be seen from his name that it was like a cemetery that could nourish corpses. Therefore, he put the ancient corpse into the bronze coffin again and swallowed the bronze coffin into his stomach. He began to use his body's bloodline to restore the ancient corpse. Finally, he paid a huge price and swallowed countless treasures to restore the ancient corpse. Damn brat, I won't forgive you. Ling opened his eyes. His eyes were shining with the light of revenge. He wanted to immediately go back and kill Lin Xian. However, he knew that doing so would be useless. He could not act rashly. Lin Xian's trump card was very strong. He had to think of a way to secretly kill Lin Xian. Previously, he was disdainful, but now he was no match for Lin Xian. Moreover, subconsciously, he did not dare to fight Lin Xian head-on. This showed that he was completely afraid of Lin Xian. However, the killing intent in his heart did not weaken at all. Instead, it grew stronger. If I can't kill you head-on, then I'll use other methods. I don't believe you can withstand it. He closed his eyes again and began to prepare. He refined something. That was a poison that he extracted from the ancient corpse. It was called the ancient corpse poison. This poison was very terrifying. Moreover, the ancient corpse in his hand was obviously very strong. Therefore, the poison in its body was also very strong. Finally, after spending a lot of effort, he was able to refine it. He carefully stored it in a black gourd and a cold smile appeared on his face. Brat, let's see how you're going to die. His figure flashed and he disappeared into the void. Ling shuttled through the forest. He formed a seal with one hand and began to search for Lin Xian. He did not know where Lin Xian was, but the last time he fought with Lin Xian, he left some of the ancient corpse's aura on Lin Xian's body. Although it was very weak, he could find the connection if he used all his strength. Sure enough, not long after, he sneered. He found it. He could not help but speed up. Chapter 3681. 3 days later, he finally landed on a mountain. Standing at the top of the mountain, Ling looked into the distance. Tens of thousands of miles away was Lin Xian. He did not get too close. There was someone else beside him. It was not Xinjingqiu. Ling was surprised. He noticed that there was a girl beside Lin Xian. She was a purple-haired girl who was extremely beautiful. He had never seen her before. I don't care who you are. Since you're with that kid, you should go to hell with him. The murderous intent in Ling's eyes appeared again. He took out the black gourd and clenched his fists. His figure flickered as he performed a secret technique and began to move stealthily. In front of him, under an ancient tree, Lin Xian and Li Hongxiu were resting. They had obtained the 6th piece and were 3 pieces away from completing the mission. Lin Xian was looking forward to it. Li Hongxiu said, "So you're from Wushuang City. Wushuang City is a good place." The two of them chatted. Suddenly, they frowned at the same time and looked into the distance. Someone was there. Humph, Li Hongxiu sneered. Someone dares to follow me. Lin Xian also frowned. A golden light appeared in his eyes. Di Ling, that guy still dares to come? He stood up and said he's coming for me. Am I exposed? Di Ling frowned. He did not have much hope. He knew that Lin Xian's eye technique was very powerful. Buzz. He stopped and threw out the black gourd. Kid, go to hell. The black gourd streaked across the sky like a bolt of black lightning, charging towards Lin Xian and Li Hongxiu. Lin Xian frowned. What is Di Ling doing? Why is he attacking from so far away? He felt that something was not right. However, before he could say anything, Li Hongxiu snorted and threw out a palm strike. The seven-colored law slashed down like a sharp knife. It hit the black gourd. With a clang, the black gourd was split in half. I thought it was an expression. I didn't expect it to be a broken gourd. Li Hongxiu curled her lips in disdain. However, in the next moment, her expression changed. Lin Xian also frowned. Not good. Retreat quickly. The two of them quickly retreated, but it was too late. A green mist appeared from the black gourd and flew towards them. In an instant, it enveloped them. Damn it, this is poison. Hurry up and defend yourself. Lin Xian roared. It didn't take long for the poisonous mist to seep into his body, weakening his strength. His internal organs were on the verge of being infected. Not good. Lin Xian's expression changed drastically. What kind of poison was this? It was too terrifying. His god body couldn't withstand it. He instantly stopped. Then he quickly circulated the great dragon sword soul to attack his body. They turned into streaks of sword qi to destroy the poisonous gas. On the other side, Li Hongxiu also felt the poisonous gas entering her body. She also came to a halt. Damn it. It was corpse poison, and it was the poison of an ancient sage's corpse. How dare you plot against me? She was furious. In the distance, when Di Ling saw this, he raised his head to the sky and laughed. Ha ha, success! From the looks of it, they must have been poisoned. Once they were poisoned, they couldn't resist at all. It wouldn't be long before they turned into a pool of blood. Thinking of this, he proudly strode forward. In a few steps, he arrived nearby. Seeing the two of them struggling in the green, poisonous mist with black faces, Di Ling laughed even more happily. Lin Xian said as he used the great dragon sword soul to expel the poison, "This person came for me, but I didn't expect to implicate you. How are you? Are you okay? I'll help you after I expel the poison." Unexpectedly, Li Hongxiu said, "No, I was worried about you. Since you're fine, I don't have to worry about you. Don't worry, I'll help you deal with this person." Li Hongxiu shouted, and the five-colored light in her body burst out, directly expelling the poison. Boom! Li Hongxiu exploded. Like a peerless goddess, she slapped her jade-like hand forward. In an instant, it enveloped Di Ling. To be honest, Di Ling didn't expect this woman to be able to fight back. In his opinion, the two of them were definitely going to die, so he didn't think of defending at all. With a boom, he was sent flying. With a scream, he vomited blood and flew backward. Damn it! Di Ling roared to the sky and rushed over. He wanted to attack, but he was slapped to the ground. Li Hongxiu's strength was beyond his imagination. Di Ling staggered and fell to the ground. Half of his body was shattered. His face was full of horror. Lin Xian was also stunned. Damn, this chick is so strong. To be honest, he didn't expect this. One had to know that even though he didn't place the Imperial Mausoleum in his eyes, it wouldn't be that easy to defeat the Imperial Mausoleum. At least, it was impossible to defeat him in a few moves. However, Li Hongxiu did it easily. This woman was too terrifying. Di Ling also found out. Damn it. With a roar, he turned around and fled. Anyway, Lin Xian was already poisoned. There was no use for him to stay here. Moreover, the woman in front of him was too terrifying. It made his hair stand on end. He even felt that this woman was more terrifying than the 100-eyed demon sage. You take your time to expel the poison. I'll go after him. He dared to trick me. I'll make him pay the price, Li Hongxiu said in a low voice. Her body turned into a stream of 7-colored light and instantly rushed out. Not long after, Ling's scream could be heard from afar. Damn it, I'll fight it out with you. Di Ling opened his mouth and spat out a coffin. The corpse of the ancient sage rushed out. So what if the other party was strong? Could it be that the other party was a minor saint? As long as it wasn't a minor saint, he could resist. Although summoning the corpse of the ancient sage put a lot of pressure on him, he couldn't care less. You still have the corpse of the ancient sage? But do you think you can do anything to me? Li Hongxiu attacked aggressively. The corpse of the ancient sage was forced to retreat. Many handprints appeared on its powerful body. Di Ling was going crazy. Who is she? She's too terrifying. The corpse of the ancient sage could fight against a minor saint. Run. He didn't dare to stay any longer. He drove the bronze coffin and quickly fled. Li Hongxiu attacked again. On the other side, although Lin Xian was poisoned, the great dragon sword spirit was very strong. It quickly eliminated the poison. Then his body was covered with dragon-shaped sword qi. He walked out of the green poison mist. Damn it! Di Ling was so insidious. Lin Xian's face turned cold as well. Even a saint of the 5th heaven would die from this poison. Fortunately, he had the great dragon sword spirit. But thinking about it, Di Ling's end would be very miserable. With Li Hongxiu chasing after him, he would be severely injured even if he didn't die. He opened the great sage pagoda and took out the heavenly Luo umbrella. The soul imprint on the heavenly Luo umbrella had been removed by the sky flame. He branded it with his own soul imprint. Then he activated the heavenly Luo umbrella and collected all the poison. Although half of it had been consumed, there was still half left. It was enough. It was also a great weapon for Lin Xian. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.